Welcome to the Talking Tradesman podcast. This is a space where people talk honestly about their lives, the highs, the lows, the pressure, and their mental health. No scripts, no filters, no pretending. Hosted by me, Russell Payne. Let's talk. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Talking Tradesman. I am very excited to say that in the studio with me today, I have got Dave Smith, better or otherwise known as the Mindset Soldier. You've probably seen this guy online if you're online. Incredible mindset, positivity. The socials, mate, are outstanding. But also your own story is exceptional, powerful. And that's what I'd like to talk to you about today, to be fair, Dave, is before Mindset Soldier, Dave Smith. Who is Dave Smith? And how did you end up in the position that you're currently in? Yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you again for obviously allowing me to come on, mate. We've been talking for a while, so I've been really looking forward to this. Your setup's insane as well. I love it. Thank you, mate. Yeah, it's good. Really appreciate your time. So huge thank you for giving up your day to come in and be with me in the studio, mate. But yeah, let's get into your story, man. And in fact, before we get into your story, one thing that I don't want to move past, your journals. So let's give that a shout straight early doors. So as you can probably see there, that's the journal there. Obviously, I created this how I coach and how I coach myself. And there's a Nordic symbol on there, which I've got tattooed on my head. It means turning a negative into a positive. Okay. So looking at every single day, it's just I need to realise that every negative that comes in life, there's always a perception or perspective to change in it. And that's what fucking changed my mindset, was perspective. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? We all go through shit. But why can two people go through the same situation and have a different outcome? You ever studied the Stoics? Yeah, 100%. I read it. Okay, fantastic. It's that Stoic thing. Anything you go through, kind of in life, you can kind of change with the right mindset. But it's amazing there. It's like a 3-month journal. It's got some amazing tattoo art in there from some of the amazing tattoo artists in the UK that have drawn me ink in there to do with mindset and mental health. Because tattooing, for me, it was helped me with my trauma. That's why I'm heavily freaking tattooed. I noticed one or two, mate. Just a little bit. This is my trauma arm. Whether I'm pissed off or angry, I'm just like, oh, book me in for a day, mate, and I can just go over it. Have you just had that blacked out? Yeah, just completely blacked out, just because I just didn't like the tattoo before, mate. But tattoos helped me through my process of trauma because it allowed me to stop thinking. Because when I had another pain, I couldn't think. So I was getting tattooed nearly every week for about 2 years. Okay. It was constantly, because then I didn't have to be in my head. I was in my body. Right. And that's where I had to think a lot of times, isn't it? It turned out to be therapy for myself. I ended up talking to myself, and that's where a lot of my motivational talks come from. And then there's daily structures and disciplines in there, how to change your life. There's a prompt from every video that I've done. I think it's nearly 2,000 videos. Mate, your content's bang on. I shared one of your videos when you were on your way here because I had a little look on your socials, see where you were at. And shared one straight away that resonated, where you were talking about the people that you surround yourself with. Environment, man. Yeah, exactly. So you hit the nail on the head, regular, man. And I can imagine, like, you've got a big social media following. For anyone that doesn't follow Dave, Mindset Soldier on all platforms? All platforms, yeah. So if you don't, go and give him a follow. Comes out with some cracking advice. And some shit ones as well. Mate, it's all part of the parcel, isn't it? But I'm sure you've helped so many people, mate. You've probably planted a lot of seeds that you'll never see grow, which is one of the beauties, I think, of social media. It in the Bible, man. Like, I'm obviously a follower of Jesus Christ. He saved my life 2 years ago. It's all about kind of dropping the seeds, not being in everyone's face. And I always try and do that biblically for my stuff. It's just the seeds are really important. Because when you push stuff on people, even if it's the correct or the truth, they want to reject it. So I just drop seeds. You want to listen to it. But it's all about just dropping them seeds. 100%, mate. I'm a big believer in that. Yeah. I think some of the times the messages that we put out, people aren't actually ready to receive them at that point. But you could plant something that down the line, it might be 2-3 months down the line, somebody's going through something that then it will pop up and they'll go, oh, hold on, I remember that thing that guy said. Yeah. And it's those are the moments of beauty, I think, the different journeys, different lessons, isn't it? You don't see grow. Yeah, absolutely, man. Definitely. Well, so the journal itself, that's there to help people. I know, like, journaling's a big thing, isn't it, around mental health and getting stuff out there. Where can you get it? So you can buy it, obviously, on my bio on there, or my website, Mental Health Journal on there. And if you go on there, just click on sale, just go onto my bio, you can buy it on there, or just DM me. Do you know what I mean? I've sold so many since it's been out. And can you get it on Amazon? You can get it on Amazon. Okay. Everything like that. And I think what the coolest thing about this freaking journal is, you can actually contact the person that created it for help.
There's no other journal in the world that you can contact someone and say, I'm struggling with this, what about this? And that's why it's got prompt. You can literally message me, or I'll do a video about it. There's loads of videos on there. No other journal in the world does that.
That's wicked, mate.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
and it's got its own Instagram page as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got its own Instagram page. All my daily quotes on there, and I do stuff on there as well. So it's good. Yeah,
brilliant, mate.
Awesome.
Anything that you can do like that. I think I was having a conversation the other day, and I said, if you can do something as a job that also helps people and that you love doing, mate, you're winning. So yeah, fully support it, mate. I'm going to order one myself. I'm going to get one.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that would be quality. Want to get into your story then, Dave?
Let's go.
So let's take it back, because I know that you've had a traumatic childhood, and that was probably where your story started.
Yeah. I've had do you know what? I've had an amazing life. It's just sometimes we can't see it. Do you know what I mean? The trials and tribulations we go through in life, especially your childhood, teenage years, they're literally like moulding you like clay. Like it says in the Bible as well, like we are clay. And whatever we surround ourselves moulds us, but we can be moulded by ourselves. And I think that's what the change in me happened, is when I was completely broke and I was like, I need to put myself together. Do you know what I mean? So how do I do that? And it's going back breadcrumbs from my childhood and realising who I am from where I've come from, kind of thing, especially neurologically, like the pathways that I've had, the patterns, the emotional trauma, the BPD, the ADHD. Emotions are mad, just mad chemicals. And I love learning about it. Like I'm getting into like NLP at the minute and stuff, and just learning how the patterns work in your brain. And it's so powerful, because we can change anything in life. Like what I've been through, like the abuse as a child, and losing my mum, dad, my sister, joining the military, seeing my mates blown up, killed, being a drug addict, being Muslim for 15 years, being homeless. It's a mad life, but I don't fake smile no more. That's a big thing for me. Do you know what I mean? I'm 37, at 35 years, I was just fake smiling. I was never truly happy. Do you know what I mean? You notice it when you smile really quick and it just drops like that. That's when there's something inside of you that needs to change. Because if you can't hold a smile organically, there's something gone wrong on that.
Let me take a moment there to say a massive thank you to this episode's sponsors, Monarch. Now, Monarch have just released a comprehensive range of 24 new filling blades, scrapers and tools. You can find out where you can get your hands on these at www.monarch.co.uk, where you'll find a list of stockists. There is a tool for absolutely everything. These tools in particular are going to be part of a giveaway. But once again, a massive thank you to Monarch for supporting the Talking Tradesman podcast and helping me raise mental health awareness in construction and beyond. Let's get back to the episode. There's a lot, mate.
Yeah.
You've just hit a lot. For one person to go through a trauma is obviously poignant, but you've been through a hell of a lot. I mean, let's take it right the way back to the beginning, to the childhood. You've mentioned childhood abuse, losing your parents. How did all that play out for you?
Yeah, I think any kid that grows up, it's just we soak up emotions. We're not taught by kind of speech is our environment. Do you know what I mean? How our dad or father act or our siblings act, we copy them. And that was the same thing. It's just I was born into a very traumatic family upbringing. My mum was an orphan. She was Italian. She never knew her parents. Do you know what I mean? She was abused as a child sexually as well, mentally. And that generational trauma kind of, I think, I passed on. She didn't know how to deal with it. So she was, I always say, she's Italian, she could cook. She taught me, I always laugh when I speak about her because she taught me how to cook and she also taught me how to break someone's jaw.
The Italians are well known for being fiery,
man, mate, when my mum used to hit me, bro, I was like, that's why I used to learn to box. Firstly, was just from trying to dodge my mum's punch. But it's that kind of upbringing. I needed that correction. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I think people are scared these days to lay hands on people, but when in appropriate situations, especially parenting, it shouldn't be needed at that time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think we've come so far in education with parenting.
Times were different. It's always worth saying, mate, because I've had this with a few guests. You talk about the things that you did as a kid, and the world's a very different place now. I think the modern generation would maybe look at like our childhoods and be like, fucking hell, that was wrong. But it was just how it was then. It doesn't make it right, but it was a different world. So it's always worth noting that.
Yeah.
But when you say like your mum used to hit you, and that was that like, are we talking from as far as you can remember, or?
Yeah, for times I was young, my mum used to go for it. She was abusing herself as well with kind of medicating herself on, she had like spondylitis and stuff like that, so she's on heavy medication as well.
What's spondylitis?
It's like an aggressive form of arthritis in your spine.
Oh, okay.
So it's quite bad. Then she was using that medication just to dope herself out, because then she'd just like drink herself into oblivion. Do you know what I mean? Like freaking Mad Dog 2020. Remember 2020?
Mate, I remember that one. Yeah. Yeah,
Fucking hell, 2020. I don't even see it no more in the shops, but when I see
for
it,
good reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Stuff like that. And my mum's going for her own demons. She had 6 kids by 5 different men. And when I was around about 4 or 5 years old, she was with my stepdad at the time. He was an amazing man. He brought us up. Do you know what I mean? But he had his struggles as well. Do you know what I mean? My first memory of being a kid was him battering my mum, dragging her up the stairs. Do you know what I mean? And then my mum kind of left that relationship, took me, my sister, my youngest sister, away from that environment. And then within about a year, that's where the stuff started to happen. We were in kind of council housing with my mum, and then she'd have random men around, and that's where kind of the abuse started to happen, especially physically. Like I've been battered by some of my mum's boyfriends at young, like 4 or 5 years old, been threatened by a blowtorch because I wouldn't give my mum her purse with a gyro money. Remember the gyro back in the day, bro? The little blue pens and that, trying to fill it out. Do you know what I mean? Being held hostage behind a door where if I don't get my mum's money because my mum was drunk, he's going to blowtorch my face and stuff like that. So,
fucking hell, mate.
I know, from a very young age.
4 or 5 years old?
Yeah, mate, yeah.
And you've got somebody threatening to blowtorch your face?
Yeah.
As a fucking hell. It's
mad, mate. It's a vivid memory. I was in Sponhead in Coventry, and then social service started to get involved because my mum was neglecting us because we weren't turning up to school, we were dirty, we didn't have food, kind of stuff like that. And then one day, I'll never forget his name, Mike Larissy was my social service at the time, and he picked us up. He was just like, we came home from school because we were only around the corner, and my mum was drunk or just she weren't there, and he came out of his car, one of the old Vauxhall Astras back in the day, their little box shapes. Got out of that, I'll never forget it, mate. And then he was just like, oh, your mum's ill at the minute, we're going to take you away just to safeguard you, or whatever he was saying. And it just got bin bags and went to Woodend in Coventry, and that was my journey into the care system.
Where was your dad at this time?
He disappeared, mate. I can never ever remember meeting my dad. He disappeared when I was about 2 or 3. Because my mum was actually like 8 months pregnant with me. Yeah. While she was marrying my stepdad.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? My mum was I think she cheated on my stepdad. Then she was with my sister's dad. Then cheated on my stepdad. But it's a constant circle of that. And it's obviously until you get older, you don't realise that my mum was just seeking validation, bro. She never had anyone around her, especially a male role model that was strong and independent. It was all about abuse, do you know what I mean, and using her body to get where she needs to, which is sad. But yeah, she went for her own stuff. So there was a lot of hatred when I was a kid towards my mum, but there was a lot of love now. Do you know what I mean? Acceptance that we all go through shit. Now being me being a parent, I know how difficult it can be.
Yeah, it's a journey, mate, isn't it? I think once you start to become more aware of people and processes and psychology, you look back, don't you, at things like that, like your childhood, and you see it through a different lens.
It's a light bulb, isn't it? Just like,
it. As a kid, I mean, growing up in an environment like that, mate, do you remember feeling a fear or? Yeah,
I was always scared, mate. Like I used to sleep under my bed. Do you know what I mean? I used to have nightmares all the time. I was never really good at school because I used to have a helper from literally primary school until I left secondary school. To do with education, but it was also to do with my temperament and temper. Do you know what I mean? I was never allowed on the playground to play. I was always freaking not allowing to be on the playground at quarter screen. And I always remember this, I was always cooking. So the helper always made me cook at lunchtime and stuff.
Okay.
But I think that's embedded into me now because now I've got ADHD. I end up cooking at midnight, bro. When I can't get to sleep, I'll go downstairs and make my own jams on a Sunday, didn't
Soothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just the petition of it. But all of that, when I went into the care system, I was in like halfway houses, and there was a place in Coventry called Wisteria Lodge, and it was renowned now for sex crimes and stuff. And it was, remember Tracy Beaker?
No.
Remember the programme, Tracy Beaker? So it was on CBeebies, and it was Tracy Beaker was in the care system. It was about like, it's quite comical as well, but it gave you a bit of an insight. So it was like that. So it was a halfway house kind of thing. And there was kids from my age, from 5 to 18 in the house, and you should never mix them.
Oh, that's a big gap, mate.
Especially when there's you wouldn't get that now, but that's where the abuse started to happen. Where I was like sexually abused by a girl and boys in there. They were making me do stuff, take off my clothes, making me do things for them at a very young age, at 5 and 6, and that's where my childhood stopped. I was very abused there. Then when I went to school, I just became a mute, bro. The only way I used to be able to connect with people or acknowledge was through anger or violence. I used to hate people touching me at school. And when people used to touch me when I was kids, I'd just fucking bite them, bro. Bite them, lash out. I broke my head teacher's leg. Like, I was always like expelled from school. But I was always known as the angry kid or the bit of a dickhead kid.
Nobody ever stopped and was like, what's going on here?
No, I told people, bro, in the care system.
You told people in the care system you were being abused?
Yeah, and nothing come of it. They were just like, they did paperwork and stuff like that, but it was never raised or anything like that. And it's just like, when you tell your people that the caregivers, where you got to go? There's nowhere to go. Do you know what I mean? I was scared of going back there every single day when I was being picked up from school, taken back. It was just that constant trauma. Like, I hated it.
How do you feel towards the care system now? Like, do you hold much anger on that?
Yeah, it's always going to be broken. It's always going to be broken. It's people like me that have been through the care system that have to infiltrate the care system now, which I'd love to try and get into and help people with their emotional intelligence. Learning no is no. Stand up for yourself, whether that's physically or mentally. Do you know what I mean? Putting these safeguarding systems in, because in the care system, there's so many blocks that you're not allowed to do. You're in a box. Like, you can't teach them this, you can't say this, you can't do that. And they're going in trying to change the system. But people like me, I think from my social media presence, I can kind of change that from the outer perspective, because no one can put a ban on me. What I say goes.
That is one of the beauties of social media, mate.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not dictated by the mainstream narrative. You can have your truth, your narrative,
exactly,
the reality of what you went through and highlighting it, mate. I mean, first of all, massive credit to you for doing so, because it will go a long way to help people, but also it can't be easy. I know you've done a few podcasts and that now, Dave. Like, bringing it up, does that take a toll on you?
Yeah, because I think not a lot of people realise when you do podcasts quite a lot and you're telling your story, and if they haven't, not truly healed, because I don't think you can truly heal, but if they haven't processed it properly, it can be very traumatic. When I used to do my early podcasts like a year ago, mate, I was KO'd for days. KO'd for days. I couldn't communicate with people. I was off. I couldn't sleep. It's the after effect. Even when you do therapy, if you go counselling or to psychiatry, they say like the next day or two may bring up a lot of things. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of podcasts don't do that, or it's not in their remit. You're not a counsellor. No. You don't know. You're just trying to be helpful and put people's story out. But my early years was just...
It's a tough one, mate. I mean, it's why I'm always so thankful for my guests for coming in and sharing their stories, because there's no financial incentive for you or anyone else that's been on, and a lot of the time that's always the case, and I know that it takes that toll. I used to see it when I was volunteering at Samaritans, the amount of calls we'd get, crisis calls, and a lot of the time it was people that were going through therapy, but you'd have a lot of people that would be like, I've just been to therapy, I've brought all this stuff up, and then I've got to my hour, and it's like, right, off you go now, I'll see you in 2 weeks. And they're just left with that. So I've always been very conscious of that with guests, like when they relive their traumas, is like, it's a big thing, that. And you can end up, like you said, if you haven't processed it properly, re-traumatising yourself. So just a personal thanks, really, that you're willing to talk about all this on these platforms. So it's, it'll go a long way to helping people, mate. And to take your pain and trauma to do that, big respect to you.
No, thank you, mate. It's appreciated, man. It's appreciated. But even like in the care system as well, even like the emotional abuse, I think got me more, because I used to dissociate from my body quite a lot, and I do that now, emotions, and I knew that's from like sexual trauma, is where I can just have an outward body experience. It's to do with like BPD. So when I'm going through traumatic times, I can just disconnect from my body to my emotions, and people just like, you can see someone's just not there. Do you know what I mean? I have to try and regulate that quite a lot, because it's...
How do you explain that one to me?
So I'm going to be too graphic, but imagine if you're being raped or you're being physically abused, whether that's being beaten up or anything, you can just disconnect your body from your mind, and you just feel like you're not happening. And so many rape victims go through that, is where they'll just disconnect from their body, and it's just numb. They just lie there and just take it.
Right.
Because they've disconnected emotionally, it just turns off a certain part of your brain, so you can disconnect, so you're not actually holding that trauma. Do you know what I mean?
So it's a body protection mechanism, essentially.
Your brain's so complex that it would literally try and... Survival mechanism, isn't it? Your body will just go into it, drop, and just like you'll freeze. That's that fight or flight, and your body will just freeze and forget about it. Sometimes I can't remember the things that I've been abused because my body wasn't there. Do you know what I mean?
But ultimately, that's the prime directive, isn't it? We're all designed to survive, whatever that takes. And I think as a child, it's more difficult, mate, is it? Because a child like that, neurologically, they're not developed, so they don't really understand what's going on. So it's purely primal. It's just whatever the body's got to do to protect you at that point. But that's then where it puts that deep-seated, lays the foundations that you then build your adult life on, which if you don't go back and deal with, will affect you moving forwards.
With the neuroplasticity of your brain, like obviously it was like proven years ago that over the 25 you couldn't really change anything, but that's been disproven, especially with like NLP, learning stuff like that, and all about the instincts of your brains and the three parts of it, where it is like that instinct, but that mechanical part of it, and the part where you can choose to forget things in your body, and the body's so powerful. It is.
Yeah. It's fascinating, mate. That's why I studied psychology, because it fascinates me, the process of the brain, how it all works. Your own journey then, mate. So you're in, how long were you in the care system?
So about 4 or 5 months in the care system, and I legally left, I think, around about 18, 19.
So you went in, how old were you when you went in?
About 4 or 5.
Fucking hell, mate. So you spent like 13 years, 12, 13 years within the...
Yeah, it was like in and out of the care system. I used to go and my sister took me out of care system, but she put me back into the care system. That was trauma again from a woman. Do you know what I mean? My sister taking care of me, put me back in, not really seeing mum. But what I'll never forget as well is some of the foster parents do it for money, bro. They're fucking cunts, bro. Like, they just want a paycheck. It's just another kid in the house. Sit down, shut up, feed, go to school, come back, go to your room. My safe space is my car or my room. It still is, because that's how I was as a child. I used to go to my room, lock my door. As soon as I come back from the care, when I go back to my carers and the foster care. And even like my mum used to ring me every Tuesday at 6 p.m. And back then you have to walk to the freaking phone box. Do you know what I mean? To get in and dial it and stuff like that. And if she was 2 minutes late, bro, do you know what I mean? They'll pick up the phone, I could hear it. Can I speak to my mum? Yeah, then they will say to her, sorry, you're 2 minutes late next week. Do you know what I mean? Me screaming out for my mum, emotionally, just wanted to speak to her. And they're doing that and they're just like, get back to your room. That's what killed me more than the sexual abuse, is the emotional abuse. I just wasn't heard or seen. Do you know what I mean? And I know it's a bit weird saying that, but it's just, that will always stick with me.
No, I don't think it is weird, mate. It's powerful.
Yeah.
I'm just processing what you're saying, mate, because it's heavy, that.
It's narcissistic as fuck, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's toxic. It's just having that. They just don't care about you. I've had some amazing foster parents, believe me. I've had some terrible ones that have done damage that I'll never get over. Do you know what I mean? And my boy now, I've got 2 beautiful kids, Story and Navy. My little girl's 3 and my little boy's 4. He's 5 at the end of the year. I could not imagine him going through what I went through. Do you know what I mean? I just couldn't do it. And I think it makes me emotional. I think I just couldn't.
Mate, I can tell that'll never happen, obviously. But again, I think that's another thing. I mean, I experienced that when I had kids myself, is you look back through the eyes of a parent and sometimes it does make it feel worse. Because when you are that kid, it's like, I mean, you're probably the same as me, mate. If anything was, if I was going to get injured or hurt or ill, I would rather it me 100 times over than it be my kids. But when you are that kid and there's nobody looking out for you, all you've got to do is survive. And to an extent, you haven't got to think about anyone else. Like, all you've got to do, your job in that moment is survive whatever shit you're going through. When you become a parent and you are then a protector of another person, it then hits differently, doesn't it? When you look backwards and you think, well, where the fuck was my protection?
Yeah.
You know?
When you grow up learning to walk on eggshells and not freaking ride a bike, do you know what I mean? It still affects me now, but I think it's more, I think I'm a good dad. I hope I'm a good dad. Do you know what I mean? I turn up for my kids every single day. It doesn't matter if it's raining, whatever. If I can't get to my kids, I'll cycle to my kids. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter where I'm in the country. I think that comes from guilt, from how my parents didn't, do you know what I mean, parent me.
Yeah, I get that.
Do you know what I mean? I think guilt's very powerful. People can see it as a negative emotion. I say there's no such thing as a negative emotion. It's just what you attach to it. Do you know what I mean? Like violence. People can see it as negative. Do you know what I mean? Grief, they can see it as negative. But if you can process them in the right way, they're fucking useful and powerful and positive.
Yeah, you've taken that pain and made sure that your kids will never feel that.
100%, yeah.
So I don't know whether, is it guilt or is it just a protection again? You're protecting your kids from feeling what you felt.
Yeah, protection and guilt. It's not guilt as in me for being a shit person, which I have been in the past 100%, but it's guilt that I don't want to hold that guilt. Because if I parent how my parents parented, I'd already know the guilt.
You couldn't live with yourself.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Yeah, and it's there's 6 pillars that I have. This is through my coaching and that I've kind of brought on is sacrificing, suffering, serving, providing, protecting, and purpose. They're the 6 things a man needs specifically to be the best version of him. And there's no joy in there. There's no happiness. It's just a byproduct. When you help someone, joy and happiness comes from it. When you protect someone, joy and happiness comes from it. It's all byproducts. As men, we're here to sacrifice and suffer. It's simple as that.
To be fair, Dave, I went through a stage because I studied psychology, but I studied philosophy, and even went through a stage of studying Buddhism. I'm not a religious man, but the one thing I liked about Buddhism is one of their core philosophies is that happiness is found in service to others, and that's why Buddhists are generally looked at as being super friendly and they do no harm. But there's so much truth in there.
There's no stoicism in that, though, is it? Do you know what I mean? With Buddhism, it's just like, be kind. The world don't work like that, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
Jesus Christ, King of Kings, bro.
It would be, I think, if the world did live a Buddhist existence, mate, it'd be a nice place to be. But unfortunately, not everyone's on board.
That's why I couldn't have that concept with it, and that's why I turned to Jesus. Do you know what I mean? It's an interesting journey, mate, because you mentioned that you were Muslim for 15 years as well. Yeah.
I want to get to that, mate, but I'll try and keep it
100%,
in order. So you come out the care system at 18. What did life look like for Dave Smith then?
Yeah, so I'll backtrack a couple of years. So going through the care system, had its ups and downs. Do you know what I mean? I was never stationary. I still live out a fucking big bin bag right now. I've always got a bag ready. I always eat out of Tupperware. Do you know what I mean? I'm still like that.
Do you feel like you can't settle?
I can't settle, mate. People who know me know I cannot sit down. If I'm in a podcast, I'm struggling to sit down.
Yeah.
I'm either
Appreciate
shitting.
your efforts.
So either I'm on a podcast, I'm either shitting, or I'm going to bed, and I'll struggle with my sleep massively because my body just doesn't like rest. So I can go sleep at 10, 10:15, I'm awake. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you should be doing something. Do you know what I mean? That fight or flight constantly. So it's a real struggle with me with sleep, but I'm proactive. But as a teenager, I really struggled at school as well, having helpers and stuff like that. But then I went to go and live with my mum again, where I have opposite weekends, living with her, getting back to know her and stuff like that. It was going really well, but she was still drinking quite a lot. She was being quite abusive, not physically that much anymore. It was more a mental abuse. Do you know what I mean? Because she was just mirroring what was inside her. She was being very volatile.
Did she ever express remorse for you having to go through the care system?
Not one bit. I can never remember it, bro. I can never. She just hid her emotions, bro. I think sorry was a bad part of acceptance. I don't think she wanted to accept that she was a bad parent. Do you know what I mean? It's difficult. But yeah, so I went to go and live with my stepdad. He was an amazing man, by the way. He took on 5 different kids that weren't fucking his. Do you know what I mean? He's amazing. But I know what my mum was like, so I know why he did raise his hands to her. Because my mum could give it. Do you know what I mean?
So she was giving it back at the same
100%,
time.
bro.
They would fight.
100%.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So my mum probably, I ain't going to say it, but probably deserved it a little bit, in a way. If you're freaking trying to stab your husband and throw plates at him and cockery and stuff like that, you're going to try and defend yourself in certain ways. So I get where she's coming from and he is. And then it was March. Do you remember Footballers' Wives?
Yeah.
Sick program, wasn't it? Bit off subject, but it'll always stay with me because our memories are attached to emotions. When we attach something, we can even smell senses that emotion comes back. And I always remember watching Footballers' Wives. I think it was around 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and knock at the door, bam, bam, bam. This is where I was dealing drugs at the time, just to make money and stuff. And actually converted to Islam before this, but knocking on the door from the police, I was like, fuck's sake. So I tried to hide my drugs and stuff like that. I was like, fuck's sake. And he was just like, it's David Smith here. I heard my stepdad. Yeah, he's upstairs. What's happened? What's he done? Instantly,
You're thinking, shit, you're getting raided.
Yeah. He was like, no, he's not done anything. We just want to pass a message on that Murray Grady Smith's passed away. I just remember at the top of the banister hearing that. Just broke down, I just couldn't fathom it. I didn't speak to my mum for about 6 months before that because how she was being, I was just like. So
were you expecting that kind of news?
No, I don't. No. I was only young, bro, 16. Right. I only just turned 16. Yeah, it was just mad hearing that. Your mum's passed away. I didn't know how to. I was just numb. And my stepdad was just like, David. I shouted down. Obviously, was crying. He was like, "Did you hear that?" I was like, "Yeah, that's all I got." And then he went in the living room, didn't even come and console me or anything. But it's that generation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know, like, he didn't know what to do in that situation.
Was he still upset by the news as well?
I don't know. He's not one of them men that processes emotions. He's very unemotionally intelligent. Amazing man. But you know, that era.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't know how to process their emotions.
Men don't cry. Stiff upper lip.
100%.
Yeah.
Get it done. Shut up. Get it done. Do you know what I mean? Man up kind of mentality, which is needed in certain situations. But literally put my shoes on, bro. Ran from Holbrooks all the way to Paradise near Fosel. Never ran so fast in my life. Down Cobden Street. Mum had the biggest house on the street. It was through the council, but big yellow fucking house run there. The nets. Remember nets? The old fucking nets. I remember fucking horrible, bro.
Yeah.
Trying to look through. Couldn't see anything. Nothing like that. Banging on the door, see if she was there. And just nothing, bro. And just broke down. My dad came to find me a couple of hours later. I think that's where I just had to change at that point. And it was a difficult part. I just didn't have anyone to turn to. I was like, my mum's dead. Don't have my biological dad around. I'm not really close to my siblings. We've all got different lives. Then obviously being Muslim at the time really helped me. It gave me a community.
So did that come about before your mum's passing, or?
I converted when I was like 15, 16, going to that. It was.
How did that come about? Because it's not like a normal thing for a kid at that age. I mean, so I'll be honest with you, mate. Where my thoughts go is, did that happen in the prison system? Because it seems to happen a lot there.
Yeah.
But at 15 years old, how did you end up converting to Islam?
Because one of my best mates at the time, we were drug dealing at the time, and he was Muslim. And
is that not like completely anti?
Yeah, it's haram. Yeah,
that's what I thought,
100%. But freaking hell, mate. There's so many people out there that say they're saints, but they're sinners. We all are at the end of the day. Just trying to get extra money, bro. I had no money ever. Do you know what I mean? I've never felt that. Fucking hell. I remember feeling a £5 note back in the day, mate. I thought I was a fucking millionaire. Do you know what I mean? And then he actually stopped drug dealing at the time because he went on his deen, which is a spiritual journey. Do you know what I mean? Going to Mecca and going on that spiritual journey, trying to be more righteous and religious, should we say. He's like, I'll come to the mosque. I was like, fuck that, bro. Absolutely not. Do you know what I mean? I'll just carry on drug dealing. I went with him one time. He was just mad. It was just a massive community. They're an amazing community. Do you know what I mean? They fed me when I had no water. They gave me water when I had no water. They gave me purpose in a community, like a family. I was just like, what, you care about me kind of thing.
Which at that time, mate, with your upbringing, you would have been massively receptive to.
100%. Jumped at the chance.
Yeah.
Going from gangs to gangs, that's what it kind of thing is. Do you know what I mean? You feel acceptance and feel important. Went down that road, learned Arabic. Going to the mosque every weekend. I would spend Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the mosque in Leicester, the main mosque, praying, learning, rehearsing, eating with Afghanis, speaking, learning their dialect. It was an amazing journey. It gave me stability. It gave me, do you know what I mean, a bit of structure.
Belonging.
Yeah, exactly. And then this mad story, when obviously my mum passed away, I went to the mosque on Stony Stanton Road, Cambridge Mosque, and spoke to one of the mullahs there, Happy Suleiman. He said, look, another brother wants to speak to you, Dawood. I changed my name to Dawood, which is David in Arabic.
Okay. Went
to go and speak to this mullah. He was like, how do your parents feel about you converting to Islam? I was like, look, I've never met my dad. I said, my mum's like lives down the road. This is before she passed away. He was like, you need to go and speak to her. I was like, I can't be asked for that conversation. Do you know what I mean? I've tried. Literally 2 days later, that's when she passed away. So when he said that, he was just like, I don't know what happened. Like, a lot of guilt. I should have fucking went that day to go and speak to her. And I could have probably said bye to my mum, or the outcome could have been, she died of a heart attack, but people die of broken hearts. When you haven't got connection in your life, like it's scientifically proven, biologically, when we lose connection as humans, we die early. Do you know what I mean? Our life expectancy goes down. My mum was like 50 at the time, and she'd written a diary, she had a purple diary on my birthday, which is Valentine's Day. She went, I'm really missing my baby boy, it's breaking my heart. I've still got her little diary. Then like a month later, she passed away. Do you know what I mean? So I had a little bit of guilt behind that.
I can understand it, mate.
Yeah.
Obviously, it don't matter how many times I would, you don't even know me. If I was like, it ain't your fault. I can understand the emotions. Yeah, man, that's fucking heavy.
I just didn't. It took me a very long time. I probably haven't fully. I'll never get over it because I wish I was the person I am now, but it's made me the person I am.
Yeah. Well, you're a religious man, mate. If she's
100%.
looking down on you, then she'll know. You know.
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah.
In the Muslim community.
Yeah.
Where did your life go then, David? Because I mean, at this point, so you're still drug dealing.
I was still drug dealing at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, taking. I was shit as drug dealer. I fucking took more than I fucking sold. But it's one of them. You just try and chase the highs. But my relationship starts to diminish with my stepdad. A lot of things brought up. I brought up a lot of questions that people don't like. I'm that person. When I enter the room, the truth just comes out. I can't do it. That's why my family don't fucking round me up dinner tables no more, because there's a lot of trauma in my family, sexually, abuse, like there's a lot.
Yeah.
And people don't like talking about it. They'll meet up at fucking birthdays, meals and shit like that. I'm sat at the end, I just can't deal with it, bro. I can't be around that energy. It's like, we need to know the fucking truth, what's happening. Yeah, I can't deal with it. Like, you'll post photos that we're a happy fucking family, but we don't speak to each other. I spoke to one of my sisters fucking now like 3 years, because she used a certain subject against me to not speak to me. I'm a very intelligent dude, bro. I think so. It's like, probably not academically, but emotionally, and
I can see that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
She's
intelligence, mate. It's literally Saturday just gone. I was invited down to sit on a panel, BBC One, Sunday morning.
Amazing,
live.
I've seen it. Congratulations.
Yeah, the reason they invited me down there though was because they wanted to ask the question: is university still worth it? And they wanted me down there to talk about the vocational routes, obviously being from the trades, in their words, a voice of the trades. And that was my point, was that academic learning does not equal intelligence.
100%, bro.
And 100%, mate. I can tell you're a very intelligent person. Yeah. And as a society, mate, my belief, we need to move away from just thinking that university is the only place you can go to be intelligent. It's not, mate. Intelligence is very different to academic learning, and a lot of academia, mate, you're just pushed into a narrative.
Yeah,
if anything,
you're there to make money.
Railroaded. Yeah.
You're there to not enjoy life. Do you know what I mean? It's like I say to people, there's some young people at 18 years old that are freaking highly intelligent, bro, because they've been through a lot of shit.
Yep.
And there's people at 80 years old are thick as shit. Don't know their ass from their elbow because they can't, because it happens. Do you know what I mean? Because they haven't got wisdom. You can have knowledge, but if you haven't got the experience, there's no wisdom there.
You had to start picking up on all this stuff though from such a young age.
Yeah.
So they talk about children of alcoholics, man. They tend to be very, very perceptive.
We have 7 senses, bro.
When you're such a youngster, mate, particularly you, because you've had the violence as well, when you have to learn to read your parent at such a young age, are they volatile? And you're picking up on the minute, like, body language, facial gestures. That's, although it's not a great way to do it, man, it gives you a skill that you can then take forward in life.
It helped me in the military. Even with picking up, I know, like, if you listen to this, you'll probably get this if you've been through a lot of shit. I know what's going to happen in every situation. When I'm driving, watch that, watch this crash, watch this. You can just see how people maneuver, how people's hands are. If I see white nickels and stuff like that, like, something's not right here. There's little things that I've picked up from my childhood, and when I've gone through things, way people breathe, way people act, way people talk, the tone of the voice, like, I just know. Like, tell me the fucking truth, what's going on. You can't hide anything from a kid that's been through so emotional trauma, because he knows it before it's going to happen.
You become hyper aware, mate.
Mad, bro.
Yeah. Mad.
Even on tour, like, people who knew me from the military, bro, like, I never took a knee in the military. When we're getting shot, you're supposed to take a knee on your back buckle. That ain't happening. I already knew I was going to get shot at before I got shot at.
Yeah. Do
you know what I mean? It just knew, and I saved a good couple of people's life on that tour through them actions of knowing my awareness. Do you know what I mean? It's mad that the darkest days of your life can turn into the fucking brightest, bro.
That's what I'm saying, mate. It's horrible that you have to develop that skill that way. Yeah. But once you do develop, and this is, again, when you come into the stoic mindset of taking the positives from a negative, but you take that, what was a trauma then becomes a gift. Reframes things, doesn't it? I mean, you know, you're the man yourself when it comes to mindset, but that was a big shift for me personally, was reframing traumas and taking the positives, you know, and being able to look at the skills that you've actually developed through the adversities, which is a weird concept. Like, some people will look at that and go, mate, there's nothing good that's come from that. The fucking is.
Yeah. It's just knowing it, innit? So, like, after that, like, my relationship with my stepdad kind of diminished a little bit. I remember having some difficult conversations over food and that, and because he couldn't control his emotions, he used to fucking try and hit me. Do you know what I mean? So there's one time he fucking broke my jaw at the dinner table. But I deserved it probably, because do you know what? I trigger people. And when there's a trigger, there's a lesson. Do you know, I always saying people, unhealed people listen with their triggers. Do you know what I mean? So when you're listening to me, if I say something, you get triggered, there's something you need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did that at the dinner table, he couldn't accept it. I was like, I remember you fucking battering my mum and this and that. He was like, don't speak about that at the fucking table. Bam. I was like, you know, fuck this. Then that was my road to being homeless, living on the streets, halfway houses, friends' sofas. And I didn't even know at the time you have to actually register yourself homeless, be known homeless. Do you know what I mean? So there's people on the streets right now, ex-veterans or people or whatever, that haven't registered themselves homeless and gone to the council.
Yeah.
No one knows about them. They're lost through the system. I didn't even realise that until I was like a year into it. I thought, well, yeah, you need to go and register yourself. I said, how the fuck am I supposed to know? I need to register myself homeless. It's mental, bro. And then I've got...
How long were you homeless?
About 2 years. So I was living on the streets, halfway houses, then got into the foyer in Coventry was my first accommodation, which is like a halfway house from them homing you to... Because I never had I can't remember, I don't even ever had a passport, I never had a bank. So I tried to join the military at 17, 18. They were just like, mate, you're homeless, mate, you can't join. Like, I was like, I need a way out, mate. And they were just like, you need to go and get accommodation or register yourself homeless. And that's what I did. And then in the foyer, they helped me with a lot of things. And that's where I got my first registered address. And then had my enlistment date for 2009, 25th of January. And I kind of never looked back. That's where I joined the military.
2009.
Yeah.
So you'd have been, what, 18?
18, 19, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How was it? I mean, I don't want to move past it too quickly. Like living on the streets for 2 years, mate.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was up and downs because I was living at my sister's at the time. Then I'd be living on the streets, or because I didn't want to be around my family, I'd say I'd be at a mate's.
Literally rough sleeping. Then.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like because I didn't want to be around my family. Sometimes I'd rough sleep. I was living like in and out of my sister's house. I've got like 3 sisters. I was living at one of them's, then the other one of them, and it was just like I just felt I wasn't accepted there. They didn't want me there. Do you know what I mean? So some days I'd live on the street, some days I'd go back or have some food. Then I just felt that fucking constant thing of I never had a home. I never did. Do you know what I mean? I've never felt. That's why I can't open Christmas presents or presents, bro. Can't do it. I do now with the kids. I've never had a Christmas. I've never had that around the table, opening my presents. It's fear for me. When I was in the care system, you got to think foster parents have had different kids in there, and we're all in the morning. I'm in my bedroom, bro. I'm not opening my Christmas. Why? And that's why it's so important. It's who's around the tree, not under it, right? Do you know what I mean? I've got no family here. What the fuck am I going to open a PlayStation for and be happy? I don't want a PlayStation. I want my family. Do you know what I mean? That's why I've gained knowledge and understanding from that side of it. The perspective, like material things, don't fucking bother me, bro. Don't give a fuck about them. Do you know what I mean? Don't care about money. I earn good money, but I don't care about it. It's not my idol. Do you know what I mean? I lend more money than I make. Do you know what I mean? I'm that kind of person, and that's embedded into me, and I don't want my kids to ever go through that as well. Do you know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah, mate. I'm just soaking in what you're saying. To be fair, it's powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. So you joined the army at 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
How was the army life?
Best life I've ever had, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long were you in for?
Just over 8 years I was in.
Okay, good stint.
Yeah, it was good. I had to leave because of PTSD, but it's fucking one of them.
Was that medical just discharge?
Yeah, under medical discharge. It's a bittersweet. I've got an amazing life now. Do you know what I mean? How long would I have been in now? Nearly, fucking hell. I'm trying to do maths here. 18, 19 years. Another 5 years I would have been retired. Yeah. But I could have been the opposite way. Do you know what I mean? Because if I kept on going back and on tour and going for the things like that, I could be fucking dead.
How many tours did you do?
The 2 tours of Afghan, 2009, 2012.
And you saw active service?
Yeah. Amazing tour. So I joined the military 2009. I was in the Grenadier Guards, Finest Regiment in the British Army. Do you know what I mean? And I just never looked back. I couldn't be broken because I was always broken. Do you know what I mean? And I know I used to piss the DF staff off because even when they wanted to beast us, I just fucking absolutely thrive off it. I was like, I enjoy it. I had to make up shit like the recruits just get to pissed off at me because I'll do stuff so we get beasted. Do you know what I mean? Just to piss them off because I'm just like, you ain't breaking me. Like I'm already broken. Like 6 months ago, I was living out of dustbins looking for food, and you're moaning about 3 square meals a day in the South Scrape. How do you fuck with a kid like that?
Mate, it's perspective, isn't it? Do you know what though, Dave? It's like the tier 1, so like all your SAS, SBS, all that. A lot of the guys that go into that, same backgrounds, mate. There's something to be said for those broken people that come off the estates, that come out of a life of childhood or trauma, quite often they end up operating at such a high level in the armed forces. I think you've just hit the nail on the head, mate, because regardless of what they think, that life there is better than what you had.
You don't realise what you're being taught until it's needed. Do you know what I mean? It's the same as the military. You don't realise what you're being taught. Like controlled aggression is a big thing in the military. You don't realise you're being taught that in certain ways until you're in that environment where you're being shot at, blown up, where the Taliban's there, or you're in a situation where you have to hold your tongue because they'll beast you. And you have to hold your tongue. They're spitting at you, like fucking frothing from the mouth, and you have got to stand there and fucking take it.
When you're in Afghan, this is
Afghan or in training. Do you know what I mean? Training, they want to break you because they need that, because they need to break and reshape you. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're just going to grow up there with a shitty mindset and that you think you're better than anywhere else, you're not going to fit in. You want that robust person in the military that can take anything and be still. And that's why breathing's so important. Like in the whether it's sniper training or even like rifle training, you learn how to breathe properly. You always exhale on a shot. Do you know what I mean? So you don't miss the target. And I always say to people, it's the same as life. If you can't, this is why I like breath work, is because if you can't control your breathing, you can't control your life. Any situation, if you know how you're breathing, you know where you're going in life. So if I'm in certain situations where there's quite a lot of hostility and I'm breathing very upper, shallow breathing kind of thing, I know what my central nervous system's off. There's something happening here. And controlling that, you can control the situation. It might not be the best outcome, but you have control over it.
Yeah, man.
And it's taught in the military about breathing. It's actually like a scientific thing now with snipers and even special forces. Like I speak to Ollie Ollerton quite a lot. He's an amazing guy. Yeah, an amazing guy. Fucking hell, do you know what I mean?
Breathwork's become, I would say it's become massive. It's always been there with humans. Like breathwork's always been there, but so there's a lot more focus on it at the moment, isn't it? Quite a few of my guests talk quite heavily about breathwork and the power of breathwork. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me to hear you say that. In the military, I mean, you mentioned before that you never took a knee, you never hit the belt buckle.
Yeah.
How close to not being here did it come for you?
Oh, mate, numerous times, bro. I think it's like, you know what, that nervous laughter you get when you're in, you know, like fucking hell, like if something happens, it's like that kiddie thing in it, you just laugh. Amount of times I've been hit with like rocket launchers, like I've just dropped to my life with UGRs or fucking being shot, and I'm just looked at my mate, I'm just fucking laughing like, this is mad. I went from like 19 years of my first tour, so I was a battle casualty replacement on my first tour. Went out just around Christmas time, and remember the first round, I was like, this is mad.
I can't even begin to understand, like, to go from the care system, streets of Coventry, to being homeless, to then being an Afghan at 19. Like, there's a big fucking a quick transition between the three. Did you not sort of get there and go, what the fuck?
Do you know what? Coventry isn't far off Afghan.
Just worse weather.
Exactly. I'm just wearing combats, not a tracksuit. Do you know what I mean? It's that same thing. There's a high percentage of people in the military that are broken. Do you know what I mean? 70%, I think it was at Risen, with the statistics that come from broken homes. Do you know what I mean? And so you get that knit. It was just amazing. Absolutely thrived the fit.
You found community again within
definitely,
the military.
Yeah. Discipline, respect, integrity, loyalty, selfless commitment was just embedded into me. I just absolutely thrived to fit. And when I passed out of training, I was the recruit that got the best recruit. So about 100 recruits, going from being homeless to getting awards for being the best recruit out of 100 people, I was like, mad. That was one of my biggest achievements, I think.
Must have given you a real sense of belonging at that point.
100%, like, I'm made for this. Do you know what I mean? I was that kind of person. I was always when they did the fucking I can't get my words out. ADHD, when your brain works and your tongue don't. Battle casualty replacement. I was on my first up. I want to go, like, straight from St James's Palace when I was guarding the Queen. Like, go 2 weeks. So I had to pack my stuff and go straight out. But yeah, went into the increment company, greatest company in the Grenadier Guards. They were full of just reprobates, arseholes. So, do you know what I mean? So I fit in quite well. We just didn't like taking no for an answer. But yeah, that tour was mad. It was nearly 100 casualties, 5 deaths. Yeah, quadruple amputees, people being freaking blown up with that, sawn in half, shot, blown up.
Were you seeing that day?
Yeah. It's mad. I don't think your body can truly process it in that time. Do you know what I mean? So I think your body, like I say, that disattachment kind of thing, disassociation. I think military people are very good with it. They don't realise they are good with it, because there's a lot of people still in the military that I know are very high up that do have PTSD. And they've dealt with it in a different way. They've got the trauma from it, but they haven't been diagnosed with it because they don't want to go down that road because it's a curricula.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Some people I still know in the army that are coming sergeant majors, regimental sergeant majors, that are broken.
I can't understand how it wouldn't break it. Like some of the stuff that you'd see in war zones, I can't understand how it wouldn't give you PTSD. I mean, I'd think, like you said, I think that probably everyone gets it. It's just then how they process
You
and
can
deal
place
with
it psychologically, can't you? Like with probably the course that you've done, you can place things in boxes.
Yeah.
And it's a safe space. When you open it, there's trauma.
Yeah.
If you can keep it closed and in there, you don't have to deal with it. And an amazing book, Body Keeps the Score.
Yeah.
Insane
Fantastic book.
Yeah. If you haven't read it, like read it. Like it's an amazing book. It helped me develop the process of your body keeps the score. How you feel, your information, how you react to things. Like it will come out in certain points. Whether you've got backache, footache, headache.
Mate, cancer rates. Some of the studies around people that have gone through traumas, not processed it, held it in. You keep your body locked in that. You know, there's certain chemicals that are released that your body's not meant to experience for long periods. It's fascinating. The cancer rates in people that have been through severe traumas are way higher than people that haven't. Exactly that. The body holding the score. So the stuff that you internalise and you keep in is detrimental to your health. And
releasing it's so important. That's like about emotions in the right circumstances, environments are very important. Don't try and hold it in. I was chronically ill for years. Do you know, even my stomach now, like I know when I'm getting really stressed because I'll bleed from down there, bro. And my stomach goes, I can't eat anything because I know it's my central nervous system. Because obviously, like, you know, there's two cells of your body when you were first formed. There's in your uterus, do you know what I mean? You've got your stem cell from obviously your brain and your spine, and that's where it's disconnected. And that's why they call it your second brain, your gut. So if your gut's off, that's the first indication of something's going wrong in your body. And that's why it's so important. Like 80% of serotonin is from your stomach. So I always go like, if my stomach's off, something's off. Do you know what I mean? My brain's secondary. I always listen to my kind of stomach and how I feel with that.
Gut feeling.
100%. That gut feeling is true.
Yeah.
If you feel something, it's because something's happened to you. And the same with anxiety. People think anxiety is the what of the future, when it's not. It's something you've been through and the emotions attached to it. Now you're trying to predict the future. Do you know what I mean? For instance, if you get anxiety about getting in the car again, it's not predicting the future. You've had a car crash.
Yeah, I get you.
Do you got what I mean?
So it's linked to a previous emotion and you're projecting it forwards.
Exactly. So you're trying to determine the outcome and what it is about it. So it gives you self-control. So anxiety, people are going to be like, I've got fucking anxiety. I get anxiety, but it is focused thinking. Because you're focusing on one thing and you're multiplying it. So what are you doing with it? If you're facts or fiction, I do this with my coaching as well. Anxiety, thought comes into my brain, that drips a chemical. That chemical is what releasing an emotion. That emotion becomes an action. So where do you actually stop? Because you can't control the first thought, you can control the second. And that's where the anxiety comes in. You have control of your anxiety if you control the second thought. So I say to people, right, thoughts coming in, facts or fiction? Fiction. Stop fucking believing it then. Because you're the good person that's going to change your belief system on what? Something that's not correct. So you're the fucking problem. But you also can be the solution. I'm quite direct with my coaching, my clients here.
Mate, listen, to be fair, Dave, I've said many times, mate, I think accountability is lacking. Yeah. Generally, when it comes to people struggling with mental health, a big part of it is accountability. That's not accountability saying it's your fault, but it is your responsibility to deal with it and move forwards. And there's too many people when it comes to struggling with mental health that sit in the crisis and they choose to stay there rather than...
Victim.
Yeah, exactly. Victim mindset, victim mentality. It's okay to feel the thoughts. It's okay to feel anxiety, but then it's like, right, okay, I'm feeling this. I've recognised it. Move.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
100%, bro.
And it's one of them people love to take exception to that. Oh, so you're saying it's my fault? I'm not saying it's your fault, but I'm saying it is your responsibility. There you go.
Yeah.
But it is your responsibility to do something about it.
But exactly what you said there. Perfect sentence, mate. It's your ability to do what's with it, which is really important. Like, mate, the things that have happened to me in life isn't my fault. But it's my responsibility, like you say, to not be that person, that victimhood. Like I say to people, like, you can change perspective on anything. If I can change from my sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse and turn it into a positive, what's your risk? There's so many people out there have been way more shit than me. Do you know what I mean? But there's also people that use their mental health as an identity. And it becomes their identity, and I feel very sorry for them because you've changed that perspective in this an identity. Like so many people now don't even tag them; it's him, her, this, that. I've got BPD. I want to know your name, bro. Yeah, not what you think you are. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Because who are you as a person? You've adopted a label, And now it's you. I could put a Versace thing on this. I'm wearing Versace. I can take it off and put fucking Gucci or whatever. I buy myself a vintage, so I don't care. But do you know what I mean? It's who you adopt and what you wear. And this is what I say to people as well. People are quick enough to change their clothes, their appearance, but not change their mindset and how they feel and look after themselves. So it's really important if you're going through a struggle in life and you're choosing to change how you look or how you feel, you're doing it wrong. You're completely doing it wrong. You need to take a step back. What? How do I need to process this? Because if you're changing your appearance to make you feel good, there's no outcome of that. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just shallowness. So if you can take a step back and actually change how you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself, confidence will come out of it. There's so many people out there look fucking amazing, 10-10s, do you know what I mean? Teeth, hair, this and that, and they can't even hold a conversation. Yeah, well, they haven't got their life together.
And also, a lot of them are some of the most insecure people that you see. Which externally you look at them and you think you must be killing it, but internally they're struggling. It's interesting because when you ask somebody who they are, the response to that question is, I find it quite fascinating. So generally speaking, if you speak to the average person on the street and ask them who they are, most people will tell you their job title first. I'm a builder. I don't know who you are, is it?
You asked me when I come in, but
your job.
Like, I don't know. You put me on the spot. I was like, I'm just like, I don't know, mate. I'm just a random dude, mate. Just got tattoos.
just some guy that does a lot of podcasts. Yeah. But yeah, when you break it down, mate, identity, like it's an important thing. It's an important thing. But like me personally, so I've got, like the best way to explain this, I've got multiple identities, not personalities. Identities. There's
Big
a difference
there.
Yeah, exactly. There's a difference. But identities, do you know what I mean? Like I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a friend, I'm a brother. You know, yes, I'm a tradesman. To different people, I am a different person. But that's all part, like my identity is all those things. The problem when it comes to mental health is like having anxiety. That's not your fucking identity. But people grab onto it. And sometimes, mate, I've got to say it, they're scared to let it go because they don't know that without that thing, who then are they? And that is a scary fucking question when you don't know the answer. But if you let go of that and you're not the person that struggles with anxiety, BPD, whatever it might be, who are you? And people get lost there. And that's scary. So people cling on to identity like it's a life raft here and there, you know? It's like, well, I'm that. No, that ain't you. So who are you? And if you keep asking that question enough, a lot of time people do just kind of go,
exactly,
I don't know.
And they lose value. Do you know what I mean? A lot of sports stars or people that are high positions.
Perfect example, mate, sports. Same thing, I'm a footballer.
Yeah. And when they lose that identity, what happens? Drink, drugs, don't know who they are, they lost their value. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like I say with men, it's sacrificing, suffering and serving. I need that. I serve people every day. I sacrifice. What am I sacrificing every single day? People don't realise what you are sacrificing to be the person you are. And it's just not surface level shit. Like when people speak to me, I can't do stupid conversations. My brain just doesn't work like it, bro. And I'm very direct. People do know me. Talk. And I can be very hard to be around and hard to live with. I know that because I'm very direct. Like, just tell me straight. Do you know what I mean? If you're on time, you're late. I'm one of them people. Yeah. Like, you need to be there before kind of thing. And I'm very direct because I need that directness. I need communication and conversation connection, as in, look at me, talk to me. I need visual. I need confirmation. So people can't really have a conversation these days. Do you know what I mean? It's just when you're looking at people, have the conversation, connect, who they are, speak to them. Don't look for gaps. A lot of people with ADHD do this. And I used to do it is I fill gaps. And when they ain't talking about something, I'll fill it with me. Do you know what I mean? So stop. People hate silence. I've learned how to be silent and how to be confident. Yeah. It uneases people. Like, why are you being so quiet? Because your emotions are loud, bro. Do you know what I mean? You just sit there. I can just feel it. Like, emotions are louder than anything. So I can sit with my emotions now quite well. I do have my down days. I'm very vulnerable on my social media.
I've seen, mate.
Yeah. Not because I don't give a fuck. It's just like, Eminem says it best for 8 Mile. Like, he says everything. What are you going to say now?
Yeah. Mate, there's power in that. Yeah. There's power in that. What you do on your socials, mate, again, I said before, but massive credit because you are so open. And that takes balls. It takes strength to be vulnerable. And that's one of the main issues, you know, in society these days. Men make up 3/4 of all suicides. And a lot of that, it's because people are scared to be vulnerable because they think vulnerability equals weakness. Yeah. Mate, you've got to be strong as fuck. To be as open as you are publicly, you've got to be very strong to do that.
Yeah, Yeah, I just lost that mask. Like they said, the Japanese said they got 3 masks, and that kind of famous saying. I just feel like I've got 2 masks. It's one for myself and one for other people, kind of thing. It's just what really started me on my progression with my social media and how I came to actually do it. I actually was called Petrol Dread.
Petrol Dread,
because I had dreadlocks and I love fucking cars.
You had dreadlocks?
Yeah, I had dreadlocks down to my arse, bro. Yeah.
Mate, I need to see this.
Like, you ain't been watching on socials, have you? Now, this is years ago. So I used to be called Petrol Dread, and I used to do cars. I used to import cars from America, like Chevys and Firebirds. I used to fucking look, mate. Petrol head, mate. Absolutely love it. I'll just sit in the car, turn it on, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just, it's a man thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just sit there and just like, this is so sick. Do you know what I mean? And then change my social media because I did an event. It's about getting your own voice, kind of thing. Because I just lost my voice. I didn't know how to speak. I didn't know how to communicate properly. This was only like 3 years ago. I can't think what the event was called now. And it was all about public speaking. Do you know what I mean? Because they're all in property. You need to know how to sell yourself, what we were talking about before. A lot of people that aren't confident with telling me who they are, what they represent. And I did that. And it broke me. Like, it did break me in certain ways because you have to tell your story, where you come from. And I just broke on stage, bro. Like, I just couldn't get a word out speaking about my sister passing away, my mum passing away, my niece committing suicide, my dad not being there. I just didn't know what to do. Got better at it, and they took me on board, like, telling my story a little bit. He was like, you need to tell your fucking story because you're going to save lives. It's injustice. Injustice, is that the right word? An injustice.
To not tell it.
Yeah, to not tell it. And then I did a video about suicide, which went quite viral. It was all about, I was listening to Jordan Peterson at the time, and it was kind of taking what he says and changing it to my audience, kind of thing. It was all about the building blocks in life. Like, if you are thinking about suicide, you're not alone. Do you know what I mean? The things that you need to do is just adapt and change how you see things. Because I tried to commit suicide 3 times in my life, and I did the video, and one of my mates, Martin Moore, he won't mind me saying his name because I looked up to him. I still do look up to him. He was a kind of a father figure to me in the military. Amazing soldier. I did CP. Like, he was, if you looked at a soldier, you'd see him. Like, the amount of tours he's done and the amount of people he saved or freaking killed, do you know what I mean, or saved for the country. And he dropped me a message. He was like, how you doing, Smudge? Like, I think okay. He was just, you feel the vibe. I was like, something's off here. I was like, bro, give me your number. I expect you for ages, bro. He don't live far from me, actually. And got onto the phone with him. And he kind of broke down. He was like, bro, like, I was just fucked. I think he said he rang his mum to tell his daughter, like, I love her, I just can't do this no more. He was going to take all his meds and OD, but as he put the phone down to his mum, he said the video of me about suicide come up on Instagram, and he said that stopped him doing it. And that just, it gives me chills. I haven't got any hair because I shave, but and that just sparked in something to me, and it was just like, I need to keep doing this. And I was doing videos 2-3 times a day for weeks, and do you know what I mean? I've done thousands and thousands of videos now, and it's just, some of them were kind of scripted at the start. I used to stress myself out because I didn't want to be fucking unprofessional. But if you look at my early videos, bro, I was so robotic. Now it's just a thought process. I pray to God, allow the Holy Spirit to guide me in my tongue to help people, whether they're going through trials and tribulations. Just give me the words to help adapt to them in them situations and give them hope and faith. And just God gives me it.
And if it helps one person, it's worth it, isn't it? To put that video out there and to pretend, to have saved somebody that you knew and respected. I mean, the power in that, man.
Yeah, it's not even on
That's
tour.
huge.
Do you know what I mean? Most soldiers die after tour, then on tour.
Yeah, 100%. Mate, suicide is a bigger killer of people out the military post-service than it is in... I mean, again, in the States, it's horrendous, the statistics and the figures, but it's not great here either. I mean, as it happens at the moment, the construction industry has the highest suicide rate of any industry, but ex-service people are well up there as well.
Yeah. John, big up to the construction industry. So obviously I'm a medical technician, so I go on sites doing medicals and stuff for companies like Balfour Beatty, Tunnelcraft, places like that, and they've brought me on to do talks to do with mental health in the morning and afternoon shifts.
Fantastic.
And like you say, some of the men in there are just, they don't realise how important they are. And I always go with my talks, like, you lads don't know how fucking important you are to this country. You are the building blocks. This country would not be anything without the construction workers. They build everything. And not just that, they put so much pressure on themselves. They work away Monday to Friday, see their family probably at the weekend if they can get a train home or something like that. And that's putting them. And what happens then at night, quicker to go down the pub, have a drink, take drugs. On the weekend, it's depression, anxiety, and it's that revolving thing. They're spinning it. they don't even like themselves, and they go into work providing, they don't even like themselves.
Mate, you've hit the nail on the head. I've got a massive bugbear. I believe it starts in education. The problem is, and listen, the reason I know this is true, these words were said to my son when he was at school studying. You need to study, make sure, like pay attention more, because if you don't if you don't do well in your exams, you'll end up on a construction site.
Yeah.
Right? And it might sound that, it's a throwaway comment, but the perception of society on the trades is that it's where you go if you fail. It's where you go if you're not good enough.
Yeah.
So what that means then is all the blokes and all the people, the tradespeople going into the trades, when they go in, they're like, well, I'm here because I failed. They're not, I'm here because I'm fucking important.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that perception, because the other thing you mentioned, one of your pillars, purpose, I think it's probably the most important thing for a man to have in particular is purpose. I've said this many times. You imagine the difference that would make if the people in construction believed that they were there and it was given on purpose, rather than they're there because they failed. Imagine that mindset shift.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And to me, I think that's massive, and it's a real problem. There are several issues why construction is struggling as much as it is with mental health. But when the foundation's wrong, something else we've talked about already, it exasperates. Everything then, a hard day becomes a pointless hard day rather than a hard day with purpose. But look what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I'm putting infrastructure into the country. I'm providing houses. I'm providing buildings for medical use, road systems. Like, what's more important than that?
If they stop, the world stops, bro.
100%.
Simple as that.
But for some reason, the construction industry is belittled by a lot of society, the middle class, the upper class. They look down upon it.
Yeah, the blue collars, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like that's why I like going in, doing the talks, and like big up like Tunnelcraft, Hercules. Do you know what I mean? They've brought me on to do talks and like stuff, and it's just the guy, because they see me on social media as well. Do you know what I mean? It's good getting in there and having a voice, and I don't script anything, bro. I'm like, it's just a toolbox talk for me. I'll go in, sit down, shut the fuck up, listen to me, talk to me. I said, the doors are locked. You're not leaving until we speak about shit. You ain't going nowhere. Like, you ain't going to work. Speak. And some of the construction industries are good a bit, like you say, it's to do with the management, the supervisors, the foremen, the telehandlers, the ground workers. Do you know what I mean? Everything, the plant operators. They've all got fucking purpose. This, like you said at the point a minute ago. So when they come into me to do a medical, because they have to do a medical by me, I'll sign them off so they can work on site with a safe critical medical. I'm just a plant operator. I'm just a ground worker.
Yeah.
I'm just a tunneler. I'm just a miner.
Just that.
I'm like, right, stop. I literally say to him, I'm stopping this fucking thing for a minute. The medical. What do you mean you're just? I said to him, I was like, mate, you're in the construction, you're building the fucking UK, bro. Have a bit more, because like you say, it's that self-doubt. Like, they don't think it's good enough. Being a plant operator, you're 500 grand equipment, £1 million equipment, tunnelers, the equipment they use, bro. Like, I couldn't do that job, bro. I'd be frightened to do that job, because if you get something wrong, and something else with the tunnelers, which I think needs to be raised as well with people that do tunnelling, sometimes they don't see sunlight. You know, the shift work. I didn't know that until I started doing this job. I'm just like, he's like, bro, I haven't seen sunlight for a month, because we're in the tunnels every day. So when it's winter months, they go in, they don't see sunlight. Depression. Yeah. Straight away. And they don't realise that. And they are getting better with his shift patterns and stuff, because if they ain't seeing sunlight, I couldn't imagine that for a month. You'd be like, who does that? What country is that?
There's one they're dark for 6 months or something like that.
Mad, like, imagine being in that. Like, it fucks with your circadian rhythm.
It might be Greenland.
So I think it might be, yeah.
Yeah, the top end of Greenland.
I think they've got the most murderers as well.
There you go.
I think that's part of it. That is, because I watched the documentary. I'm sure it's Greenland, because they've got one of the highest security prisons, and that's where they host most of the mass murderers and the wherever it is. It's because of that, because there's something psychologically that needs that circadian rhythm.
Again, no, man, it's like sunlight and the retinal. Like, when sunlight hits the back of your eye, there's a particular chemical that's released. Yeah. Is it melatonin?
Yeah, melatonin, yeah.
Which helps you sleep.
Yeah.
So the release. So your body is designed to read that, isn't it? Like, read daylight, nightlight, time to go to bed kind of thing. So if you deprive your body of that for a long period of time, of course it's going to cause problems.
I was listening to a podcast actually the other day with a sleep doctor on the Dorian CEO, and it was about this. Is about sleep and melatonin and how important it is, and people are overdosing it. People are injecting themselves with melatonin because it helps. I've used it before. Do you know what I mean? For tanning. So when I used to my bodybuilding comps, I used to hate being on sunbeds. I'd do melatonin. I'd go on sunbed once a week, or every 2 weeks, and I'd go quite brown. But I used to get the best night's sleep as well. I used to do about 1 mil of it. I used to sleep through the night. Do you know what I mean? So it is so important to get that. it's just the little things like that that can literally just change from being suicidal or not.
Yeah.
And I used to be a flip of the switch, and that's why it's so important to me. I have structure and discipline in my life, and I'm very regimented.
Yeah.
And people are like, can you not just chill out for a minute? Not really, because if I don't, my kids ain't going to go with dad. And that is how important. I could be a flip of a switch with my BPD and my ADHD. Like, I can be happy. Like I say to people with emotions with BPD, it's, you can be happy. I'm fucking ecstatic. You're sad. Can deal with it. I'm suicidal. I'm on the bridge.
Yeah.
And it could be that flip of a switch for me. So if I can keep grounded in gratitude, and I've got every single day, and help people every single day, and people are like, just how do you do it? You comment back, because it gives me serotonin. It gives me dopamine. So people with ADHD, we are chemical hunters, whether that's cortisone, sertraline, fucking that's the fucking medication, serotonin or dopamine. We chase it. And I know I chase cortisone because I know it's a stress hormone, but it is good for your body, but it's not when it's overused. It's information. I know when I'm using it too much. I love being in stressful situations, but when it's in stressful situations where I can't control, that's when depression starts to kick in. And that's where like mental health comes from, is if we can't deal with stress, what happens? We take it on board and it fucks with our central nervous system. And that's why majority of mental health goes down, is because of stress. Because stress is the controllable, right?
Yeah.
Because why are you going to be stressed about something you can control it? Do you know what I mean? If you can control it, bring it back to the breathing. If you can't control it, bring it back to the breathing.
How did you, because you're very aware now, like ADHD, BPD.
Yeah.
How did you manage your like mental health and all that side of things while you were in the military? Because I'm assuming at that point you weren't aware.
I'll tell you straight away, bro. Violence, drink and drugs and going on tour. That vicious circle coming around. Tour was the best thing for me. It was written on my S jars from the military. Fucking amazing soldier. A+, A+, A+. Don't have him in the barracks. As soon as I used to come back off tour or exercise, I'd go back to my room, drink,
Chaos.
Smash my room up, bro. Like flat pack my room like IKEA, bro. Punching it, go out. I broke my hands, broke my jaws. I've been doing for ABH, GBH, fighting coppers, biting coppers.
You never get banged up?
Yeah, I was in Colchester for a bit, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But at the time, it was probably the best place for me, because freaking hell, the workload was horrendous. Like, we'll go on tour, 6-7 months, come back. We'd have a long weekend off, 3 days off, go straight into troop training for 6 weeks. We didn't even see our family. Do you know what I mean? It was quite a lot to take on board, but the army's amazing, mate. I'll never discredit it. Do you know what I mean? It's made me who I am. The Grenadier guys were amazing. It's just the dickheads in it sometimes. You know, the hierarchy, the people at any job, the management thinking they're higher than you. A lot of people get into them positions because they were little bitches at school, and they need to push that on like police officers sometimes. They need to be in a position of power because they never had any power back then. But then a lot of people like myself or you or other people use it for the opposite. I hate fucking bullies, bro. I don't care. If I see someone like being, I don't care, bro. I just think like, it's stupidity, but I can't deal with it. I have to go and do something. I have to protect. And that's ingrained in me, protection, constantly.
What was the, you ended up leaving the military, obviously, through PTSD.
Yeah.
What was the build up there? What happened there?
So 2009, then 2010 on my first tour. Come back, did my Lance Corporal's course, passed that. PTI course, which is physical training instructor's course. Went to Canada, loads of courses. Then my second tour I think it was one of our most kinetic tours. It was a summer tour, so it was very kinetic because you've got the Taliban trying to hold their ground with the poppies, which poppies obviously provide heroin, provides money, provides war. And we were flooding them and taking ground and stuff. And I think it was just coming back from tour. Every time something broke in me, I think. We learned to try and adapt, but sometimes you can't adapt from going from Afghan to Bastion for a week, handing all your rifles and your weapon systems. Your mates have just died on tour. You've still got blood on your off spray and your shoes, and then you come back to Bastion, flow to Brize Norton, get on the coach, back to the barracks, and all your family's waiting there. And that hit me, bro. Like, when everyone's family's there and I'm getting off the coach and no one's there for me again. Do you know what I mean? I will always remember that. Just emptiness. Like, what am I supposed to do? Went back to my room, put my Birkin down. What's the easiest thing to do? Because you come back from that dopamine, you ain't getting that again, bro. Right, I'm going out, getting drunk. Who wants to fight? It was that constant thing, seeking it.
I've always found it kind of fascinating, mate, in a morbid way, how the military can train people to essentially do their job, but fight and kill people, and then expect you to come back into society and just be normal and functional within totally different framework? How do you go from training somebody for, say, like hand-to-hand combat or whatever, and then expect to just bring you back and be like, right, you know, go out in town on a Friday night, get intoxicated, and expect you not to react in extreme ways?
It's hard, yeah, and that's where the PTSD started. The PTSD started with me was with night terrors. I didn't want to think I had PTSD because I was still thinking I would drink 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock I was up, taking people on PTs, 12-mile runs, 20-mile runs, CFTs, AFTs, 2-milers, 3-milers, go back to my room, watch Jeremy Kyle, do you know what I mean, get pissed off because I think I'm better than them, and go back to work. And it's that constant cycle, but it's just like, I think it was a physical thing with the military, because you go on decompression in Cyprus, give them alcohol, get it out of them. Get all that fucking anger out. The amount of times you have fights on decompression with other people that you don't fucking like, people on tour that there's no rank really in decompression. It's just like, you have a drink, right, you're a fucking cunt, let's go. What you said on that tour, what you did on that tour, let's fuck. It's that decompression of a lad thing, that mentality. There was no mental decompression. It was come back, right, adapt. Well, I'd be scared to go Tesco, bro. Going from a war zone, fighting the Taliban, where I had to shop sometimes 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't even stand the thought of people being around me, the knock of trolleys, or just that surrounding. I just couldn't deal with it. Uncensored, bro. I couldn't. Ended up like trying to get into cars, and it was mad, bro. You just out of body experience.
What was it about that you couldn't cope with?
It's just the sound, like the loud, sharp bangs. My central nervous system wasn't fully, what's the word, decompressed, shall we say. So when I come back, my central nervous system was still off. I was still here as a person, but even Mountain Dew, I see Mountain Dew, man, my brain would just go, and I'd just stop for a second. I could be in the middle of a road. Someone was drinking something. I was like,
what was it about Mountain Dew?
It's just an American drink out there. So I'd always remember, because always people were drinking Mountain Dew in Afghan.
Right.
That or Madeira. Madeira, I think it was called. Madeira? Like an orange drink. Or the smell of something would just send you off. Like, this is really hard for me to transition with fire. My boys actually, I didn't even think about this. My boy was born on bonfire night, which is a mad thing. Because I really used to struggle with it. And people don't realise that's why I think it should be banned, personal use. Yeah. Because your next door neighbours are letting fireworks. Yeah. I had to play music until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, so I didn't hear, because they don't realise how much they sound. And that sounds brings me back to my mate John Dawson getting shot in the face, my mate being blown up, my mate being shot. It's just
shot in the face.
Yeah, my mate John Dawson. Yeah.
In front of while you were there, like,
and he was in my position. That's why I got a mention dispatches off the Queen for gallantry. So on my second tour.
Tell me about that then, Dad.
Yeah. So on 2012, it was a summer tour, quite kinetic. My mate John Dawson, we were through training together. His nickname's Pudding because he's a fat little shit. He used to go up for seconds, but I think I was like his army brother. Do you know what I mean? I could bully him in the best way possible. No one else could. Like, if you said anything about him, I'd just bang you. I give a fuck. Just trying a bit of a protection again.
Yeah.
And we went on tour, and we're on a compound. We took over a compound because we got ambushed by the Taliban, and Sergeant Shepherd was our section commander at the time, and he put Ali Engum, John Dawson out to give us cover while we were getting our kind of bearings, because we were searching all the compounds around this area. And it's called a baiting up. So a baiting up is literally like fishing. You go out, we are the bait. Once we're shot at, we can shoot back in the card alpha rules. It's a bit mad, but the Taliban are quite shit shots unless they've got a sniper. Because they're just shooting the general direction, drop the obviously the weapon system into a cache or something like that, and we can't do anything. We can't shoot back. As you say on camera, I'm going to say it on camera, but trust me, bro. Like, if I see you drop that weapon system, you're down. Don't care. And I was always known for 66. So people used to call me 66 on tour, which is a rocket launcher. I used to fire back with rocket launchers. I think I've fired more rocket launchers on that tour than most people did bullets, because it was literally, if you're shooting at me, you're going down. I just crack it, pump back. And then we were getting ambushed by the Taliban, and John Dawson was outside. I've gone outside because he stopped firing. I was like, what's up? He had a hard cock in his weapon system. So I told him, get down a little bit, because he was trying to fix his weapon system while in a fucking firefight. I was like, bro, come on. You don't do that. Get in cover, because you're going to get shot. And I remember it, grabbed his rifle off him, smashed the weapon system, so the working parts went forward, the round came out. I remember catching that round, and I remember putting it on top of my Osprey where the radio was, and I kept that till the end of the tour. But the significance of that was after, because got him back in, And we made a plan, right, we're going to take over this compound, try and look over. There was one place where we wasn't allowed to check because the officer at the time wouldn't allow us to do it because it was a mosque. And he was just like, we can't go in there, hearts and minds. I'm just like, don't give a fuck. Like, hearts and minds all sound. I said, look, I'm Muslim, let me speak to him. I'll speak to him in Arabic, try and get in there. No, not doing it. That's the only building we'd ever checked. And we can't tell him what to do. He's an officer, do you know what I mean? We can always have our opinion, but at the end of the day, his fucking says goes. So we went to another compound, took over that compound, and we put up kind of foreign musicians straight away. So Ali Engum and John Dawson went on top of the compound, and they were given arcs. So I said to him, like, there's different arcs up there, but me and John Outwood was on there first. We were doing rotations just to see if there was anyone around. And you have to be hard targeted. So it means, like, just keep moving around. So if you are shot at, you're harder to be shot. Nothing happened for about an hour. So John Atwood got down the sharpshooter. John Dawson took over my position, which I think was northwest to this mosque. He sat down in my position, and Ali Engum took over the right position. I said to John Dawson, just look out for these. There's movement over there and so forth. And I just said, look, if you have a drink, get in your back buckle, because there was a divot. So on the top of there was, what are they called when you pop on top of buildings to allow sunlight for energy? What are they called?
Solar
panels.
Yeah.
There was solar panels. That's what some of the Afghans do for, like, energy. And there was a solar panel there. Then there was a divot, so it goes down a bit like that. So you could probably bunker down, just have a drink, or at least stand up and move around and have a drink. Literally, I got off the top of the compound. I put my body armor off, spray down, helmet, rifle. About to take my Ubex off, which is like a shirt. Took that off and put my slippers on. Flip flops. All I heard was, that's all you heard. It just went quiet. Then next minute, machine gun fire. I was like, Engum, what the fuck's gone wrong? Couldn't see Engum, couldn't see Dawson. Tried to go further back, couldn't see anything. Where the fuck is Dawson? Engum was just shell-shocked. He was just frozen. I got on top of the compound, grabbed Engum. I said, get the fuck off the building, get down. Where's Dawson? He said, I don't know. You couldn't see him because he fell down into the divot. So I fucking had no body armor, no nothing, no rifle. I was like, fuck this. Right, got on top of the compound, still being shot at by machine guns by the Taliban. Seeing Dawson, I was like, for fuck's sake. So I got on top of him, trying to shake him, like trying to get him conscious, speak to me. Couldn't get anything. So I tried to check for any exit or entry rooms, checking his ball, his cock, his ass, anywhere, because that's what you have to check. If you get shot, kind of how rounds are made is when it goes into your body, it ricochets as much as possible, as much as damage. So it doesn't, when you see the films where it goes in and out, it's not, unless it's a 7.76 round or a 50 cal when it obliterate you. They're in there, do as much damage and fuck off. Couldn't find it. Tilted his head, and then his fucking eyeball fucking popped out, and his chin. And as I lifted him up, he was gargling on his blood. So I pulled his tongue out, pulled the blood out, tilted his head. I could see he'd been shot on the left-hand side of the bottom of his jaw. So what he's done, he's obviously sat there, he's took a drink, and the mosque is over there. And as he's obviously looked up, the sniper's just shot him straight in the bottom of the jaw. Good shot. And then it obviously ricocheted in his head, and it came out top of his head.
When under here and out here?
Yeah, out at the top. Yeah. Yeah. So it's mad. So my attention had to turn to trying to win the firefight because we were still getting shot. But I was over Dawson trying to get his attention. I grabbed his rifle, hard cocked it, tried to shoot, hard cock. It's like, fuck's sake. Hard cock is where a bullet's jammed in the working parts and it's not working. Dropped that off, picked up the GPMG, which is a general purpose machine gun, big fucking hefty machine gun. I felt like fucking Rambo, bro. Trying to pick it up, hard cock, fucking grabbed it, booted it, trying to get to working parts forward, lifted the fucking thing up, did it again, pushed it down, cocked it, nothing. I was like, great, fantastic, I want to be fucking killed here. Dropped that down. I just had to put my attention onto Dawson. I called the guys over, I told them where the fire was coming from, got on top of John Dawson. There's nothing really you can do with a head wound, bro. You can't put any like head com round it, which is like it's a gel pad that has like pufferfish. So when you put it into the bloodstream, it causes blood clots to stop further bleeding.
Coagulate, is that the right word?
I ain't gonna be able to say that with my tongue, bro.
I think that's the one.
So you'll literally put it on gunshot wounds or something like that, and it will stop the bleeding because it blood clots and stops it, which is amazing equipment. Nothing you can do. You can't put a fucking tourniquet around his throat to stop his bleeding from his head. Nothing. So I had to drain his blood and literally just try and tilt it and keep it elevated so he wasn't losing blood from that side. So I picked him up, dragging him. You got to think he's about fucking 90k probably with his Osprey on, 110k, 115k, trying to drag that. But you get strength out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean? I was only like 72k, bro, at that time. Dragging him off the building, pulled him over to my mate Charlie Leonard. Down the stairs, there was Davo and Hollis. And as I've tilted him, it's a funny story, as I tilted him down to try and get him down to the building, so I hooked him up, pulled him down so they could get him in the medic. And fucking my mate Charlie Leonard's looked up. All the blood from Dawson's just gone all down his throat and in his mouth. I was like, fucking, you could have closed your mouth, mate. Then got him down off the building. Humour's so part of the military, dark humour, bro. Keeps you calm, mate. Got him down off the building. I took this 66, just pinned the fucking mosque, bam, hit the mosque, the corner of it, blew that. And they kind of, firefight kind of stopped at the time because we got Air Force as well, coming across doing show of force. So a show of force is where like the fighter jets or Apaches or helicopters will come over very, very low. And what they'll do flares or drop something, you know what I mean, to scare off the Taliban. And that gave us a bit of time to focus on Dawson. Went over to Dawson, like he actually started to come round. Do you know what I mean? Started to speak to him. He was just like, what's happened? I was like, bro, you just fell off the building, bro, you sound. And he was like checking. I said, like, I just feel dizzy. I'll just like chill out. The medics here, trying to give him IV drips and kind of give him.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, and he fucking ended up putting his fucking finger down his eye, like he was looking. He was just like that. And I remember him putting his finger in the hole. I was like, I've got a strong stomach, bro, but I was just like, bro, I was like, just started laughing. Looked over. I was just like, this is mad. Then the heli came in. The heli was insane, amazing. Literally, you could hear it, but where the fuck's the heli? Next minute, it's just handbrake turn in the middle of the air, straight down, bam, outside the compound, got Dawson out. But what Taliban do, the little ballons, they'd flood the fields. They are fucking wankers, bro.
I think it's the first time I've ever had a guest say that, to be fair.
What?
The Taliban, little bellends.
But they're so knowledgeable of the ground. They know what to do to prevent stuff. So what they'll flood the fields. Once they flood the fields, trying to get through that field, bro, you're sunk in like quicksand. So you're pinned down. You're not a hard target no more. Trying to get Dawson out, bro. We were sinking like in the fucking flip flops, trying to fight the enemy, like down into like our knees in the fields where the poppies were. Trying to move, get Dawson out. Fucking nearly falling over. It's comical, but got him onto the heli. Heli went, we went back in the building, and then I told the section commander, I was like, look, we need to like prevent something here. So I told our officer at the time, Stoner, he's actually 2-2 now, amazing guy. I said, look, get everyone's helmet, put them on the building, put them around the sentry like that, because then in my mind I was like, I know what to do here. Put the helmets on the top. If we get fired at, we know what direction. Do you know what I mean? Because if that comes from the left of that, because if we haven't got any direction where the enemy is, we could be getting ambushed from anywhere. Thankfully, nothing happened, but we're nearly running out of bombs and bullets and food. We've been out for like a week. So we were like, right, we need to make an extraction here. Built up a plan, beeline, straight back to the compound, CP Clifton it was at the time. As soon as we get out, just before sunrise, right, get your kit on, let's fucking move. Bam. As soon as we got out, bro, we were just getting ambushed left, right, and centre by the Taliban, being shot at. It was literally, do not fucking look, just literally beeline, left and right. We had like, obviously, alternative arcs, just shoot what moves. That's literally what it was. We'll go in walking down, Taliban coming up, but they'll have kids with them. They'll have women with them. So they'd shoot, so we couldn't shoot back and stuff like that. That's where like John Outwood come in, like the sharpshooter. He was pinning people, bro. I'd just seen it like bam, straight in the head, bam, boom, straight bam. And then like I was just shooting, UGL like fucking pinning bods all the way down. And we got back, and that's the last time we see Dawson. About a week later, because he went to Bastion. Obviously, Bastion has some of the most amazing surgeons in the world. Do you know what I mean? Went to there, then he went back to Headley Court, and then when I come back off tour, seeing Dawson, it was just mad. Oh, it always reminds me of that.
He survived.
Yeah, he survived, bro. Mad, because his fat fucking head. I say to him, like, if I was sat there 30 seconds before you, bro, like, if I'd been shot with my skinny little head, I'd been blown off, bro. But your fat head, mad. I couldn't believe he survived it, but it's just that's.
What was the lasting damage for him? Does it take his eye?
He's always been a monk, mate. No, but he's amazing. So he was paralysed, I think, from the left-hand side, I think it was, part of his body, and half his skull was took out.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, half his skull. He had to have like the balloon put in to push out the pressure. He's lost his eye, one of his eye. Constant surgery now and again. But I'll always remember, like, fucking, he was in the bed. He's always been a fucking moaner. I could hear him when I was in Headley Court just moaning about random shit. I was just laughing. He just ain't changed even when you lost half your brain, bro. And he turned, and I remember a scene, you know, from I think it's Dark Knight, with Two-Face.
Yeah, Harvey Dent.
Yeah, Harvey Dent. Yeah. And he turned, and I'd just seen like half his face was just missing. I was like, bro, you can fucking eat cornflakes out of that, bro. Man, that's my instant thing, just to add humour to it. Because it blocks it, doesn't it? That emotion.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But yeah, he survived it. And mad, I have a lot of survivor's guilt from that because I was there before and I had to stag on that blood. So I've got pictures of it on my old camera. So I took pictures of everything. I haven't looked at it for years, but it was just black, like the whole top of it. Like, until you know what blood looks like that, it's black, like tar, like mixed in with the sand and the debris from the top. And I had to lie in that blood for like, do you know what I mean? After that happened. And when like the adrenaline goes, shit starts to get real. Just like, what the fuck am I doing? Do you know what I mean?
Fucking hell, mate. So I mean, when he was evacuated, then you were still left there. I guess you didn't know whether he'd survived or
no, didn't have it.
Or not.
Didn't know, bro. It's mad. You don't know who's going to survive or
you're at that
die.
point. You're covered in your best mate's blood,
Yeah.
not knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
My fucking hell.
But yeah, you just don't know. Like one of my other mates, John Hemley, who got blown up, he was in the vicinity with us. He went over an irrigation ditch, got blew up, did his own tourniquet. Sam speaking to us, like lost his leg, like come out. He's like, right, Sam doing this. He was sound on the heli on the way back. It's not the medic's fault, but they put the tube down the wrong hole, starved his brain of oxygen for 11 minutes, and he's been a cabbage since. Cabbage, I'm saying the best way possible because it's one of the lads, but
saying,
he literally all he can do now to communicate is blink.
And that's because of the medical care.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Do you know what I mean? I couldn't imagine being that medic having that on top of me. It wasn't their fault. They weren't stressed in the thing. And do you know what I mean? My mate Michael Holmes, who got blew up, saved him as well. We were coming back to see to Clifton on the way back in. We thought we were home dry because we could see Clifton at the time, and that's when you start to lose yourself, your notional awareness. You get a bit relaxed, a bit cocky. Fucking hell, we've been out for 2 weeks now. We're getting back. Just want to get back, get some scoff, have a shower, and you switch off. Do you know what I mean? We're kind of beelining back down. I was the second man in, so I was giving cover and fire to the hall man. The hall man is like the guy with the metal detector. So we've gone past that point, and Holmesley's at the back. He's probably second man in. He's the GPMG gunner. All you heard was like that. He's fucking just been blown up. So it was a pull cord. Someone over the irrigation ditch has pulled the cord and obviously blew him up. Instantly, I just reacted, bro. Like even before the dust settled, there's like quick release clips. Can't get my words out. On the day sack and the rifle round, it clipped that off. Bam, bam, dropped that. Ran to him, beelined. The medic got blew up. Seen Holmesy, he fucking blew up his leg. Was nearly hanging off, so I fucking grabbed his fucking leg. Got my mate Charlie. Charlie was nearly being fucking sick. Got the tourniquet around his fucking knee, or just below the knee, because if anyone that's lost a leg, I haven't lost my leg obviously, but you want it below the knee because you've still got the movement, the mechanical part of it, the joint, so you can still walk properly. When it starts to go there, you got to think, if you get blown up, you're probably going to lose an inch every year sometimes, because you lose it because it decays. Do you know what I mean? So it can get, well, yeah, one of my mates, Tony Checkley, if you listen to this, brother, John Dawson's seen him. He's had constant surgery. This is nearly 8 years, constant surgery. So he goes up and up and up. If it gets an infection, you've got to cut it away.
Yeah.
Infection, cut it away. So the healing process is so important.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So when it's below the leg, that's what you want, because you've still got the movement. You'll still be able to run properly and stuff like that. So I remember I had to put it, it was quite close, but I put it as close as fucking possible. Tourniquet on, gave him some head comm to try and stem the bleeding, then turned to the medic as well. So I got him, saved his leg, got to the medic as well, because he had blast injury. He was just like out of it, because I think he fucked his eardrum because of it. I could see blood dripping from his ear. Gave him some water, trying to tilt him, tended to him, then helicopter come up and took them both. But the funny part with that, Holmesy, so he had tribal, the worst tattoo you can probably get, except for black. He actually had to have a skin graft. So the skin graft from the tattoo was on his leg now, from his arm. So he had the skin graft from his arm. He's got fucking tribal on his leg. But it's the shape of a fucking cock. It's funny, it's like that. It's just funny, mate. You got to try and find humour in it, but...
Mate.
Mad.
Wow.
That's only 2 incidents. You know what I mean? There's hundreds on that tour. It's mental, bro.
I can understand the PTSD, mate.
Yeah.
Like, for that to become normalised. I've had a few ex-armed forces lads come through, mate. Your story, actually, with your mate's very similar to former guest of the podcast, Andy Williams, who was an ex-para.
I know, Andy Williams.
You know Andy?
Yeah.
Great bloke.
When he in the paras?
Yeah, mate, he was like a real life
Amazing
James
book,
Bond.
bro. You read his book?
Yeah, I've got it. I've got a signed copy on the shelf over
same
there.
as, shout out to him. Like, his book's amazing, yeah.
He, like a real life James Bond, though, Andy.
His life, bro. If you haven't read his book, insane,
incredible.
bro. Yeah.
Like, that's what I mean. The guy is like a real life James Bond. Like,
just doesn't look like it.
Secret services and everything. But his story was very similar because I think he was on a rooftop and his mate got shot in the neck. Similar thing. He then had to spend X amount of days covered in his mate's blood before he got out of there and found out his mate had survived. Yeah. So yeah, some parallels, man. But it's incredible. Like
traumatic bleeding, people don't know the difference. Like when you cut your finger, a little bit of blood. When it's proper like organ blood, when it's like deep scented blood, it's just mad. It's just I've never experienced anything like it. Like, it was mad. Yeah.
Fucking hell, though. Yeah. So we'll bring it forward again now. Yeah. But the PTSD discharge after that.
Yeah.
How was life for you after you got discharged? Because I'm just thinking, there's a few common areas through your story, which is that, like, you know, finding community, finding belonging, and your purpose within the military. So once you were discharged with PTSD, how did life look for you then?
It was curricular for me. I lost my purpose straight away. That's why I didn't go down that route, and I tried not to go down that route, but the drinking, drugs and violence took over me, and it was just a constant thing, and then being psychologically tested, and it was just like, I didn't want to do it. I was forced into it. Like, you need to do it, because I was put P0 at the time. P0 means like you're non-deployed, you're non-serviceable. So I had to go down that route, and it was just like, I had to come to terms with it. Hardest time of my life, bro. Hardest time of my life, because I lost everything. I know I was an amazing soldier. I was a soldier. I was going on to do Pathfinders, because I was doing Recce Commanders. I was on to do Recce Commanders, then Pathfinders. That was I just wanted that, like, to be a part of that, because the Pathfinders, man, it's a fucking hard-ass course. It's the Recce before SAS even go in. Do you know what I mean? They're like, and I wanted that route. I wanted it so fucking much, even when I was on my darkest days. Even when I was committing suicide, bro. I tried to commit suicide the first time, still turn up for work the next day. Do you know what I mean?
You tried to take your life and then turned up at work the following day.
I'm saying, so I took loads of medication. I was on medication like mirtazapine, sertraline, Sopiclone, trying to sleep, antipsychotic drugs. It was just fucked. I was just fucked. And I was trying to rehabilitate myself back in, because I wasn't yet diagnosed with PTSD. They put me on medication to help my head. And then literally I had these episodes where I was just like, got drunk, took all this medication, woke up in the hospital. My brother-in-law was there. He's a company sergeant major of 2 para now. He was like, what the fuck have you done? I was just broke down. Then got sectioned into the mental health hospital in Basingstoke. Got discharged from there, because I just denied it. I'm like, fuck this, I'm sound. There's that episode, it's just an episode. Get back in it, get back in the firefight. Did that straight away. Trained to do P Company, then so forth. It just gave me purpose again. Do you know what I mean? A lot of guys in the army, if you've got purpose and courses to do, you've got something to live for. And then it slowly decayed, mate, where it was just like, when I wasn't drinking, I wasn't taking drugs, the thoughts were getting so bad, I was having like rigor mortis when I was going to sleep. Like, as soon as I go to sleep, the nightmare would happen straight away, like sinking into that blood on Dawson, or being in Afghan, or some parts of it. Just couldn't get away from it, bro. Like, even napping in the day, I'd go into night terrors. So I'd constantly work. Like, I'd fall asleep until I was absolutely exhausted. Half an hour sleep, hour sleep, get back up, right, go and do something, because I was just afraid of going to sleep constantly.
Christ, mate. What did you go after post-military then? What did you do? Like,
I was just that scared boy again. Left the military. Went into the care system. Black bag. That was it. 27, 28 years old.
Nowhere to live, nowhere to go.
Nothing, bro. Just had to go and live with my stepdad again, because it was the only place I could go. Got a house in Bedworth. I've stayed there since. I still live there now.
Did you have any support, Dave? Like, because it obviously being discharged with PTSD, was there any follow up? Like, were you supported
here and there? I couldn't do any courses because I was doing like 2 therapy sessions a week with my psychiatrist. So and the medication I was on, I couldn't do any resettlement. So the year I was supposed to be getting back into civvy life, I was trying to work on my mental health, and it was getting closer, and the anxiety was terrible, because like 2 months, 3 months, I tried to get it extended, because I haven't even finished my therapy yet. I haven't even finished with the people that was getting help from, and I'm out next week, and it, bam, stops. No more help. See you later. I had to reach out to charities. They had to try and reach out to the NHS, but that's like a year's waiting list. So going therapy twice a week for nearly 6 months for everything, having no courses to fall back on, no career to go to. Yeah, that's it, mate. And that was it. It was just straight back into it. So I was doing groundwork in at the time. Fucking terrible job. Hated it.
That's graft, mate. Ground workers.
Digging up stuff like, I was doing streetlight operative, and so digging up the freaking holes and stuff, putting the lampposts in, pulling the wire. That's a graft, bro.
The fucking contrast in your life, mate, is insane. To go from what you've just described and some of those instances to then being back with, you know, kind of directionless, really, with not a lot of support, and being back in Civvy Street doing jobs like groundworking. What a contrast, man.
Yeah, mad. Fucking hate my boss away, that's what. Look, I didn't put him in one of the holes. Honestly, bro, like, the power some people have in, like, managerial roles, speaking to you like shit. Just like visualising killing someone, bro. I'm like, I've got it in me, bro. I
was going to say, this is the thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, just that flip can be switched, man. And it's just, I had to really control myself a lot. Did the Arctic lorries, did that. That's a soul-destroying job. Doing 15-hour shifts, getting up at 2 o'clock. No, to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning. Bit work for 2. You're not even getting paid night work because you're not even. It's not classed as a night shift. Doing that, misses at a time. She was coming in for work. She was in the military. I didn't even end up seeing her all the time. That kind of just needed change. Ended up doing my qualifications in occupational health. Did that, which has just led me on to the stuff I do now, which is good, and the motivational stuff, the content stuff. It's just given me so many opportunities.
Yeah,
being memorable.
I want to get into that. As we're moving through, but how did that transition come about? Because it goes from where you're at now, to me, it seems, you know, you've gone through the military, you've been released, you're doing groundwork jobs. How do you transition from there? I know you said a couple of years ago was like a hard time for you. How does that gap get filled?
Accountability. Knowing no one's going to rescue you. I had to stop all my therapy because I've been going therapy since I was 6 years old, bro.
Okay.
Whether it's like anger management as a child, but I'm just being fucking, do you know what I mean, abused as a kid. Going through the military, all that therapy, and it was, you have to constantly relive it when you change psychiatrist. Do you know what I mean? So like with beside you someone else, because they had to go and deal with immigrants coming into the country. The best relationship I had with one of my counsellors was at the Caledon Centre in Coventry, and he was amazing. And he was even pissed off. He's like, this is going to be pretty shit, but I can't do it anymore because I've got to go and be reassigned somewhere else. So I can't do it again. I've definitely sent a psychiatrist, and every time you go to them, they're just like, they say to you, like, I know we've got to go for it again, but I need to know what you've been through. I'm done.
Constantly trawling the trauma.
Constantly opening that box, and I'm done. Like, how long am I going to constantly keep going with it? And that's what I say to people. Therapy and counselling, and it's like quicksand. The quicker you get in it, the quicker you want to get out of it. Do you know what I mean? Be in it, deal with it, fucking get out of it. There's people that have been in therapy 20 years. Who's the problem? It's not the situation you've been through. It's fucking you. You ain't letting go of it. So I had to stop. Took all my medication. It's a bin bag full, but I've still got some at home to remind me on the dates of it. We're like 2017, 2018. Took it, fucking done. So what do you mean? So I'm done. Get me off the system. I'm going total from everything. Communication, solitude, socialism. Don't want to fucking speak to my friends. I'm done. Just took about 6 months, a year off, and just tried to work on myself. Didn't communicate with people because I was always making bad decisions.
Yeah.
I was around the wrong people, taking drugs, getting fighting. I was just like, there's a constant repeating things, bad relationships, trying to get validation off women because I didn't have that once to feel loved, in a constant cycle. Just done with everything, bro. And
I was going to ask you that question, mate. In terms of everything you've been through, the attachment, the abandonment, and I guess the trust. How's all of that played out in your own relationships?
Terrible. I self-sabotage nearly all the relationships. When something's good, something's... Your body goes back into, something bad's going to happen, just fuck off, do something wrong or whatever. And that's on me. I have to take accountability. I've fucked up most relationships I've been with, whether that's being emotionally unintelligent, where I'm not in the relationship, I'm just emotionally disattached, whether I don't give them how they want to be loved, whether I've cheated, I've lied. It's all a mechanism of me, really, and what I've been through. Like learning about love languages, attachment styles has been really powerful for me. Learning how I need to be loved and how the other person needs to be loved. Because me trying to love someone else how I think love isn't love to them. And that's the same way someone needs to love me. So like physical touch and words of affirmation are really big for me. Do you know what I mean? In connection. If I don't get that in the relationship, doesn't matter how good it is, I don't feel loved. Do you know what I mean? So you have to meet them where they are, which is hard, like.
Do you feel that you've got yourself to a place, or that you will get yourself to a place where you'll let yourself be loved in a long-term perspective?
I don't know with that. Sorry for you, but I just don't know. I just don't know. That's a part of me that I'm still developing. I'm still working on it. It's just, yeah, love's a kind of dirty language to me. Me saying it, people saying to me, it's just like, fuck off. I just don't like it. So I've got to come with that. And it needs to come from the right person, I think. And I think I'll know. So now I know I've been loved by people, but I've rejected it. And that's come from me. That's self-sabotage, isn't it?
It is, mate. It's sad to hear. I understand it. Yeah. I understand it, but it's sad to hear because everyone deserves love. Everyone deserves that opportunity to feel that. And it's just sad to know that previous, your experience puts you in a position where it's such a dangerous thing. Do you know what I mean? But
trusting someone, though, isn't it?
100%. And that's why I wanted to ask that question, whether that sort of background of yours, more the childhood stuff really, probably with the relationships with your mother, has then put that in place where the trust for women in a loving capacity is...
My mother, my sisters, it's all like, yeah. Like when my sister passed away, Katie, she was only 32, like she was an alcoholic. That hit me like a ton of shit because I was in mental health hospital at the time. None of my family come to see me when I was sectioned the third time. None of them turned up. Do you know what I mean? I had to come out of the Basingstoke hospital to come and see my sister die. Do you know what I mean? Because they weren't going to let me. I was just like, if you don't, I'm going to kill myself. You can put me on where I have to call the police. I had to call the police. I think it was morning and evening, and I had to, with my psychiatrist, I had to call them. If I didn't, they could put out a warrant arrest for me. Do you know what I mean? Into the Mental Health Act. So that sound. Went home, just watched my sister pass away. Like all her organs failed.
I was just all through alcohol abuse.
Yeah, same with my mum. Was an alcoholic. My sister was an alcoholic. My sister went through a lot of shit, abuse as well, sexually, mentally. My niece committed suicide because she was raped. It's just there's a lot of trauma in my family, sexually, in that. There's a lot, bro. Not a lot of them accountable for it. Do you know what I mean? I'm the black sheep, but I think the black sheep turns into the goat when you can actually learn from it. Do you know what I mean? So I know I trigger a lot of people in my family. That's why they don't speak to me. But
I guess they've got to be ready for it on their own, and some people never are, mate, because it's that emotional intelligence that you mentioned. Stepping away from patterns of behaviour. Certain people stay in those patterns of behaviour for the whole life. They're not prepared to step away from it. They're not prepared to do the work. Because as you will know, mate, the work ain't fucking easy.
No. It's not, and it's just, people are always going about this healing journey, but the hardest journey I've ever had is not the healing journey, it's the acceptance of actually you're a cunt as well, bro. And that's what, when you go through the healing journey, it's all about you in it. I don't like that, the self. I just don't like it. People that go on these, probably going to be pissed off, but constantly going on retreats, constantly going on a healing journey and working on myself. Yeah, what the fuck have you done to other people, bro? Until you can learn to accept that you're actually a bellend. Do you know what I mean? Because I am. Do you know what I mean? I've hurt people, and that's the thing I regret in life. It's not what I've been through, it's what the fucking hurt I've put onto other people and how I've ruined their life, took away years of their life because of my inability to be a person and a man. Do you know what I mean? When you can turn the reflection around and work on yourself, the healing journey isn't about you. A lot of people think that this self-healing, self-worth. Fuck that shit. It's be accountable. What have you done wrong? Because when you can actually recognise where you've done wrong, you'll be able to do right. Do you know what I mean? That's what really clicked in my head. It was just like Jesus, my Lord and Saviour. Do you know what I mean? And learning the Bible, learning the true word of God, it's helped me reflect about repentance. Repentance means turning. And you can be accountable for things. A lot of narcissists are accountable. But they don't repent because it's a change of pattern of behaviour. That's what repenting is. It's the change of the behaviour. And that's what's really reflected into me, trying to be more like Christ. I know, like, I struggle every day. I'm a sinner. I'm cooked. I know I'm not good. That's why I'm Christian. I'm not better than anyone. I'm worse than anyone else. And that's why I follow Christ, because I want to be better. More like him, not better than you. Do you know what I mean?
Where did that come about?
I needed it, bro.
We've gone from, obviously, you serving as a Muslim and being a Muslim. Where did the change to Christianity come in?
Truth. I was searching for truth. And every time I tried to search the truth in the Quran, where I was reading the surahs and stuff like that, asking certain questions, it was always, well, you've got to believe it. Now, where's the truth in it? Do you know what I mean? And biblically, scientifically, and biologically, the Bible's the true word of God, bro. Like, it is. I've read it start to finish. Have I understood it all? Absolutely not. There's about one page I've understood. Do you know what I mean? But it's getting in the word of God. And if you want to go the scientific point of it, can you disprove the Bible? No. Can you disprove the scrolls, the Dead Seas? Can you disprove anything from the Bible? No, you can only prove stuff. Things are being proven now from the Bible that they disbelieved. Do you know what I mean? Jesus is the true Christ. Do you know what I mean? The Holy Trinity, like, I love him, like, and I know he loves me, and that's the first time I felt love when I got on my knees 2 years ago in therapy, and when I was when I was on my knees praying to him, I just felt love and acceptance, and that's all that he did. The King of Kings, Jesus Christ, the Lord of Lords. Do you know what I mean? He come to serve. He didn't come here as a king and like, you will listen to me. He washed the feet of his disciples. He came down to help people, to be with the sinners, the prostitutes, the tax collectors, the murderers. He didn't sit with people that thought they were better than people, like the Pharisees and stuff like that. He didn't sit with the people that were around with gold chains and thinking they're better than anyone else. They sat with people that fucking needed someone. And that's the true definition of love, and love is God. Do you know what I mean? You can't change my mind if I'm a truth seeker. Read the Bible, get in the Bible. If you can't believe it, scientifically go down it. Like some of the most amazing people in the world, Albert Einstein, the dimensions, 3rd dimension, 4 dimensions, breathing 10 dimensions. He was like, there has to be a creator. And he converted to Christianity. Steve Jobs, one of the amazing people, best brains in the world, turned to Christianity. Everyone turns to Christ at one point. You're going to take a knee at one point. It's either going to be judged, although when he comes back. Do you know what I mean? That's why I've got a crucifix tatted on my knee, blacked out. It's the only knee I'll ever take in life is to Jesus Christ. That's it.
I've spoken to a lot of people, mate, a lot of powerful people that have completely changed their life around after finding Christianity and finding Christ. As I said to you before, mate, I'm not a religious man. I haven't studied the Bible. I don't know enough about it to make a decision.
Nor was Jesus.
Nor was Jesus?
No.
Okay. Explain that statement then. You're not religious. How is he religious? Is Christianity not religion?
No. I follow Jesus. I don't follow religion.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
So someone said to me on one of my comments, he was just like, how does it feel to believe that a Jewish man was God? Yeah. Jesus was Jewish. But it's not about that. The Old Testament and New Testament are completely different. The Old Testament is about all the old laws and stuff. The New Testament is when Jesus come back, not to abolish them, is to correct them. He turned the religion on his head. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't follow any religion. Religion is like practices.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? That's the stuff they used to do, like being circumcised or not eating pork and stuff like that. That's part of religion. Jesus turned it on its head. Like, the only thing I need is a relationship with Jesus Christ and learning the Word of God, and that is it. Yes, I am Christian. You can call it religion. You can call everything religion. People say to him, even like the way I prep my food, I'm religious about it. It's got to be done every single day. There's nothing behind it. Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand.
I think it's a lot deeper. When people say religion, they dissociate from the meaning from it. Religion is just about the doctrines, probably, or the things they adapt to it. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I had to try and get that concept away from it because I don't want to be a part of religion. Because,
okay.
But even the Crusades were needed. Like, if you want to get into it, the Crusades were the best things ever to happen to the UK. Do you know what I mean? People think it's very like racist and stuff like that. It's not.
To be fair, David, I don't know enough about it.
Do you know? I could get into it for days, bro. Yeah.
I can see the passion there, but I like that.
Yeah.
The one thing that I do like are the values.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, the UK is a Christian valued country. You can't knock any of it. You know, love thy neighbour, kindness, generosity is all part of that. So I'm not against that.
Yeah.
In terms of the teachings and all the rest of it, I'll be honest, mate, I'm just ignorant to it.
Yeah, of course,
I haven't looked into it, haven't gone that way. The only thing, like I said before, that I'd sort of looked into was just Buddhist philosophies and teachings, but that was just part of a journey that I stumbled across Buddhism when I was going through Stoicism and all the rest of it. It was just part of an education thing. But all credit, mate, all credit. There's quite a few, like I say, Chris Booth, who's also, again, turned his life around. And Matthew Morton as well, another former guest of the podcast, great guy, same thing, turned his life around after finding God. So I've got all credit for that. All credit. You know, not to say who's right and who's wrong and all the rest of it. I guess we'll find out one day, won't we?
100%, bro. 100%. But it's just finding the truth. I need that. I need truth in my life. I need integrity. I need transparency. That's what God gives me. I read the Bible every single day. It hurts. I think a lot of people don't turn to Christianity because it hurts. Because you have to take a reflection back in yourself that actually you are cooked. You're not a very good person. And it's striving to be the best version of you every single day. And it's not about good deeds. And that's what one thing with obviously Islam, it's all about good deeds. You can outweigh it. If you do more good, then you can go to heaven. No, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. It's about your faith in Jesus Christ and that he's his Lord and Savior. He died on the cross. 3 days later, he rose. And 10 days later, he ascended to heaven. It is true. You can't disprove it, bro. Do you know what I mean? Even the Romans back in the time, it's on the freaking... on the pallet, is it the pallets, the tablets back in the day, like the scrolls and stuff, it's all proven, bro. Like, you can't disprove it. You just can't. I can't. I've been doing it nearly 2 years. I've been trying to find every bit of freaking evidence to disprove it. Even like the, was it a lawyer in, I think it was America, he had the most successful rate of murder cases. Like, it's like 99.9% of 1,000 cases. And he wanted to prove the Bible wrong. Went into it, bro. Convert to Christianity.
Okay.
Logical thinkers will go to Christianity. Illogical thinkers will go to different religions. I'm not going to say what, but
I'd need to look into it, mate. As I say, I've not devoted any time or attention into it.
I'll pray for you, bro.
I'm sure you will.
I will 100%, mate.
I don't. Me personally, mate. On a personal element, I don't feel that I need to look into that currently, because I try to live my life based on my own values, which are probably very similar, if not Christian values anyway.
So you're half Christian already, mate.
There you go.
I'll just baptise you in a minute.
If he swills me. Yeah, mate, it's one of those. You never know. I mean, listen, you never say never. I always said that I would never be religious. I used to be very anti-religion, funnily enough.
Me too.
Believed it was to blame for a lot of bad shit in the world.
And it is.
But yeah, I'd say I've got a neutral view on it now.
I'll keep dropping the seeds.
But it's just education, mate. If I devote time to look into it, I'd make a decision, which I've never done. But then I've never felt the need or the pull or the draw to do that.
Yeah.
But all respect to you, mate. I respect everybody's path and journey in life.
Yeah. So same with me, bro. Like, you want to believe what you want to believe in, but I just believe in the truth.
I see what you did there. Mate, to finish things up, I just want to ask you, as a mindset soldier, how important is mindset?
Everything, bro. Whether it's biblically, spiritually, how you conduct yourself as a man, as a woman, as a parent. Your mindset's key, because if you can control your emotions, you can control your mindset. And that's a big thing with me. What I learned in the military is obviously controlled aggression, but once you lose yourself in life, you just need to say life's so simple, isn't it? It is so simple. Like, what brings me joy in life? It's a fucking strong coffee in the morning, and that is it.
We're great at overcomplicating it, mate, aren't we? That's the problem.
Massively. We want to know this, we want to know that. Mindset is so simple. It's just having control of your emotions, doing the best you can in life, but also being resilient. Hard situations are supposed to be there for a reason in life. Like, the trials and tribulations in life are there as a lesson. If you want to learn it, you don't have to, but then you become more stupidity through it. And God will keep learning that lesson to you until you learn from it. How many times you've gone around the same circle, learned it, then you just adapted and move forward. But mindset is just... I have my down days as well, bro. My mindset can completely be off, and I'm very reactive to situations, I'm very off or stuff like that, then I have to check myself. So mindset's key in any situation, even with life relationships.
Big respect, mate. I mean, again, that's one of the things I love about your social channels, is you are that honest when you're having a bad day. So, because, you know, your following and the way that you talk, you're a very intelligent person, you're very well versed, been through a hell of a lot. It would be easy for an outside person to watch your channels and be like, this guy's got it on lockdown. You know what I mean? But the reality is, with mental health and mindset, it's up and down, isn't it? It's good days, bad days, but you have to have the bad days to appreciate the good at the same time.
Still go through it, bro. Do you know what I mean? I live by myself, bro. I'm there with my kids all the time, but the separation from me and my ex is one of them. But it's just, my kids are so emotionally attached to my kids. I don't have them every day. Do you know what I mean? I haven't had them overnight yet, for nearly 2 years. That's why I'm so relentless at seeing them every single day. I still have to wake up in a cold fucking house. So a bit tight done, but eating on. But a silent, until you know what a home sounds like and it's gone, that's a weird place, bro, when it's silent. But that's on me. I fucked up. I'll take accountability. And that's why no matter what, I'll always speak to my kids every single day, no matter where I am. I'll cycle to them if I haven't got a car, or I'll run to them if I can. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, you kids are lucky that you've got that perspective on life, because there's a lot of people out there that haven't. And I've been through, not what you've been through, but I've been through the same thing with the empty house and all the rest of it, after going through divorce, kids moving away. Yeah.
How did you feel about it, bro?
Well, I was about to say it was one of the lowest points in my life. That's wrong. It was the lowest point in my life. Going home to the empty house, fucking furniture gone. The lowest point of my life ever was funnily enough, the first Christmas after splitting up with my ex, divorce, kids moved to the other end of the country, and waking up Christmas morning to that cold, silent, fuck all.
Horrible, isn't it, bro?
Yeah, of course, I dealt with it, how you deal with it, mate. I went on a 4-day bender. So
absolutely love it.
Just
bit of ketamine might as well.
I never went there, but fucking just made myself feel as bad as humanly possible, mate.
Add into it, innit? And what you add into life is the most important. You can add the negativity or positivity. I say to people, like, positivity is just a fucking emotion. I am not positive all the time. You cross me on the wrong day, I will be an absolute twat. Do you know what I mean? But I know how to regulate myself from that point of view. It's not about being positive all the time. It's just having gratitude. Gratitude's key. It's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. Like, people think these emotions are diet. Like, add it, you'll feel better. Absolutely not. It's a lifestyle. Just keep doing it. But like you're saying with family, man, I just know that feeling. Yeah, it's fucking horrible. Waking up with your kids not on Christmas, bro. Birthdays and what do you do?
You'll get there, mate. I mean, you're a good guy. You've got a lot of value to give to the world as well. That's what I see. And your kids, they're still really young, so they'll you've got all the best bits still to come.
Yeah.
There's so much value that you can deliver to them, and being consistent in their life like you are, mate. That's so fucking important. Consistency is everything. To a kid, consistency is everything. So you're doing the right stuff, mate, and those good times will come, and hopefully in the years to come you'll be able to wake up in that household with warmth and filled with the noises of having your kids around you, mate. And I'll
I mean, I can't wait. It will come. It's just it's time in it. They need them even more than they need me at the minute. I'm the provider. She's the emotional provider. Do you know what I mean? So it's needed. So
it's also what you need as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? You'll get there.
Oh, the hug of your kid when you've had a bad day.
Yeah,
bro. Yeah. The first going back in it, the first time I ever cried happy tears, bro, was in my car when my kid was born. I've never felt that. I was crying like a little bitch, bro, and I was like, "What the fuck's going wrong? Am I going to commit suicide? What's going wrong in my life?" I had to check myself. You're good. You've got. I was just like, I can't be happy tears. What the fucking happy tears? I was like, it was a mad time for me. Mad, mate. Mad, but yeah.
Beautiful, man. I'll look forward to seeing that. Hopefully we'll stay in touch, mate. And
yeah, definitely.
I'll look forward to seeing that journey. Just before we wrap things up, just let everyone know again where they can find you and where they can find the journal. Yeah,
they can find me all over social media, not on Crime Watch with these days, like. But there's obviously my journal. It's an amazing journal, obviously, because I think it's very simple, straight to the point, but it's got so much value in there. It's not just like you've got to write it yourself. There's prompts in there from every video I've done. There's steps in there. There's challenges every single week that you need to do. There's artwork in there to be more creative, because I love artwork and what it's done to me. There's lifestyle changes in there as well. And not just that, I do videos on every single thing in there. So if you go on my socials, you can watch a video about what I'm talking about in there. And that you can just message me. If you need any help with it, any guidance, how to do journaling. Do I journal every single day? No. Do I journal every week? Yes. Sometimes my journaling is just me doing videos. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I'm helping people trying to progress with their emotions.
Powerful tool, mate. It's another step that you're making to help people.
It's difficult, that's why it's powerful. Because when you get that pen, once you put that pen to paper, it becomes real. You can keep your thoughts in here, you can dissipate them, and they're gone. As soon as you write that down, that's real. Like, it's just that send. You know, when you send that button, that message, that's what that is. When you send that message, like, fuck, I can't take that back now. And you've got to clarify it. Kind of thing.
Love it, mate.
Awesome, mate.
Dave, mate, thank you.
No, thank
you for sharing your story, your experiences, mate. Everything that I do here is to try and help other people. So, yeah, I'm sure it's a powerful story, mate. If anyone wants to reach out to you about anything that they've heard today, are you okay with that?
100%, yeah.
Fantastic.
Just don't trauma dump me. People say hello, then just like, bah. But I get it, it's a release. Yeah. And I do message people back. So if you want to do that, I'll give you space, 100% I will. And I'll normally voice people back because people don't think it's me.
Yeah.
So I'll end up, if they message me, I'll voice note them back.
Man, that's massive. Yeah, all respect to that. To everyone watching, thank you again for watching the episode. Before I wrap it up, a big thank you to Sammy from Branded by Sammy for the guest merchandise. A couple of little gifts to send you away with, mate. T-shirt, hoodie, and a few bits and pieces.
Thank you, man.
If you need any branded workwear or clothes done, go and check out Sammy at Branded by Sammy. It'll all be in the details below. I'll link your socials in the episode description below as well. So scroll down wherever you're watching or listening, and there'll be a link to the Mindset Soldier social platforms. If you don't already, go and give him a follow. Mate, again, thank you so much for your time today.
Appreciate it. Yeah. God bless.
Catch you soon on the next one.